radio signal hunt tonight. The weather is not on our side, but it just means we can get together listening out for those potential alien radio signals that may be coming in from deep space. So kind of like the film Contact, big dish pointed up to the night sky, listening out again for anomalous radio signals. So we are listening on a frequency, a channel on the radio dial called the hydrogen line. This is where scientists theorise that if ET is out there, this is where they'd put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? It's where the WOW signal was heard back in the day. But it's also, just generally very, very active for the phenomena in general. So as the Earth rotates, our big dish is going to sweep across the night sky, passing over various stars and their planets. Hopefully we are going to get a nice signal on the screen. So do say hello as you're jumping in there. Let us know where you're watching from. Again, lots in the UFO news at the minute there, so do ask away any questions. So we'll have a good chat whilst we're waiting for the action to appear there. Friend is in over on the tubes there, and Amanda. How was the birthday meal? Thank you, friend. It was a busy one, but it's good. I always get very caught up in all of these activities, and I always forget to make time for the other important things. How are you guys doing there? And good evening, Amanda, as well. And Tonya, how are you doing? Backyard music there. It must be a cloudy again, just like here. Sadly, it is there. Backyard, sadly, it is. The clouds haven't favoured us. Tomorrow we might get a chance for a skywatch, but Saturday's looking very, very good. So I'm excited for Saturday's chances of a skywatch. That's what we do when the weather is amicable. We get that camera out, we point it to the night sky, and we are based right in the heart of crop circle country here in the UK, in Wiltshire, just down the road from Stonehenge. So lots of things to observe in these skies. But cloudy nights, it's the alien radio signal hunt, like the film Contact there, or the recent Apple TV series Pluribus, listening out for those potentially anomalous radio signals there. Oi, how are you doing? Good to see you in tonight. So guys, say hello as you come in. Let us know where you're all viewing from tonight, but ask away any questions there. Maybe it's something you've seen in the news there, or maybe it's something to maybe it's something about how we're doing, what we're doing, or why we're doing it there. Rachel, hello. I'll check in a minute. Sorry, I've been behind with things. I'll have a look after the stream there, but I hope you're well. And oi, no, we good news there. And Hass as well. Nice. I'm from Nottingham, in Nottinghamshire. Northamptonshire. God, my eyes. Awful. I say that every night. I've just got bad eyes there. Northamptonshire. There we go. How are you doing there? How are your skies? Is it cloudy everywhere today? So, guys, do say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. But also, ask away any questions. Maybe it's something at the UFO news. Maybe it's what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it. They're always interested to hear everybody's thoughts and knowledge and getting shared there. But if you've had an experience with the phenomena, that is my favourite bit there, is hearing your first-hand accounts with the phenomena. I'd absolutely love to hear all of those. Harco is in there over on the tubes there. What's that? Oh, wait, no, I saw that one on Discord, but it wouldn't let me reply to that one, but I'll check out the other one there, Rachel, there, but I hope you're well, and I'll message you afterwards there. And did you see the latest from Grush? I did, and it was very, very exciting there. I wasn't expecting much, I'm going to be honest. I didn't hold up much hope there, but I think it was very, very important. Another big, big step for us there. I think my favourite part about what they announced there, what they were trying to do, it felt, was change the nature of the discussion around disclosure from the craft, from the technology, to the biological side of these things, from the beings themselves there, because the craft can potentially be always argued to be a national security thing there. The technology, there's always a good national security argument to keep it classified, but the aliens themselves, distant life, it's hard to argue, isn't it, there, that there is a national security interest for hiding the nature of extraterrestrial or whatever else it might be, a life there. Grush has grown a beard. He has. You know it's been a hard time when he's got the beard going on there. When Alan's got his beard showing. It's been a hard time there. And Amanda, horrible with a drizzle where you are there. And did you investigate that flash at the end? I did, actually. I had a look. So it wasn't quite what I thought it was. There was movement, because that just looked like a bigger, brighter flash than we'd normally see, and it was a very big, bright one, but there was actually an object that was kind of just behind the clouds, so it kind of went into the lines. It could have been a satellite, just at that perfect alignment there, flashing back to the sun. But it was very exciting. The big, bright orange object that we had on the stream one time, that was literally just before we came off as well. So sometimes the best signs are just before we go off there as well. You've done the colouring there, Harco. We need to do another colouring stream there, maybe on another rainy night or an afternoon there. I'll catch you again there, Rachel. Always good to see you, though. I'll message you afterwards when I had a look. So yeah, guys, if you're just joining us, we're doing our alien radio signal hunt. We've got a big dish there pointed up to the night sky, and as the Earth rotates, it's going to sweep across the night sky. They're passing over various stars and their planets that they have in orbit, and if we get lucky, if we are in the right place, pointed to the right place at the right time, then we may well hear a signal that hopefully it's going to be technological in nature there and not coming from Earth or our equipment. These signals are rare, but they do happen, and there is no mainstream scientific explanation for a lot of them, and that is what we're on the hunt for tonight, our very own WOW signal there. And Tony, Tom, I want to say Tony again, my eyes there, backyard, thank you for the shares, appreciate that, guys. The shares, the likes, the tapping away, all of that jazz does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there, and the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience with the phenomena they are going to share. In fact, this week we have had a couple of people come in with some very different sorts of encounters, and it just blows my mind. You think all of these things are actually quite rare, but the amount of people that we hear from that have had various degrees of interaction with the phenomenon and some other highly strange things there. It is not what the mainstream would lead you to believe. It's far more common. But what does that tell us about it there? And Tony is fine. I'll do that one then. Tony, it is now. DJ's in. How are you doing there? Harco, thank you for the gifts there. Appreciate that. I said all the gifts, the subs, the patrons, the members, all that jazz does go back into the stream there as well. Where did we get to there? Big flash with an explanation there. But at least it was very interesting though, wasn't it? And Raf, how are you doing tonight? Are you still off? And Colin as well, a good evening. How are you doing there? Good to see the crew joining us in tonight. How you doing, DJ, as well? Good to see you, man. So yeah, we've got one close by star in range at the moment. Now that one is Zune, and by close by we mean 77 light years. Now the closest star to us here on Earth is about 4.2 or 4.6 light years away. Wouldn't want to walk it, but in space terms not far at all, and that is Proxima Centauri. Now 77 light years, if you think of it in space terms, it's the end of the street basically. It's not far at all. Now the closer those stars are to us there, the less energy is required for that signal to reach us. So we're in theory able to hear more or have a higher chance of detecting a signal when we've got a closer star in range. Now there's still thousands and tens of probably millions of stars in range of the dish. They're just not as close as that one. And I can't pronounce it. We call it Zune because I can't pronounce it, but there's even a B in there. Now, as the stream goes on, obviously the sky is going to move and more objects are going to get in directly in front of our dish. Is it Dashuba will be in range there, and maybe there's another one there that's also hard to pronounce that might come in range of our dish there. So yeah, the closer they are, the higher the chance of us detecting these signals. We are trying to listen out for a very particular type of signal, so that we're not necessarily here to hear alien television, alien radio there, or their communications to each other, their interstellar, Amazon order or anything like that, although they could be going on out there, but they're probably going to be much too lower powered for us to detect. What we are specifically looking out for is the hello, is anybody out there message, or the help us, our star's about to explode message, that high powered radio transmission sent out there, not knowing if anybody is going to be able to hear it there. Now those we theorize would be incredibly high power and therefore be able to traverse these distances and still be detectable, kind of like the WOW signal there. But yeah, that is the sort of thing that we are listening out for, and we think that this is the frequency, the channel on the dial where we are most likely to hear that message. Out of all of the different channels there, this one, different frequencies, this is the one where not only was the WOW signal heard, but it's where science thinks we are most likely to hear that message. This frequency is very interesting for radio astronomy, for learning about the universe. So no matter what our communication technology may be here as a species, there will always be people monitoring this frequency for the scientific purposes. They're telling us what is going on in the universe, because the universe talks in radio. It's a natural technology in a sense there, a natural phenomena that we've adapted for our purposes. But yeah, the universe talks in radio, so they'll always be monitoring this frequency. So if you want a message to be heard and have the highest chance of people picking it up, it's going to be in radio and it's going to be on this frequency. And over the years, we have actually had a number of anomalous signals potentially coming from deep space. Some close by stars may well be sending us irregular signals. And that is what we're doing tonight. We are on the hunt for those potentially alien radio signals there. DJ coming in with the gifts.
Nom, nom, nom.
Feeding
Thanks,
Alan.
guys.
Thank you for that. And when you get a minute there, I'm sending what I want you and Leanne to open on the street. DJ, yes. Okay, I can 100% do that. Put like a marker on the envelope so I know it's from you. And then I'll know to preserve it and hold it on stream. Awesome one, DJ. And Tony there. Keep rocking, brother there. We're hitting the hay. Good night, and thank you for hanging out with us over a bit there. Hopefully we'll catch you over the weekend there, Tony. And Brittany there, I've got a video of 2 weird orbs things last night there. First time I've ever seen anything like that. They went straight up from the tree line, then crossed the tree line and flew off. Oh, Brittany, are you on our Discord, our little community Discord there? We've got a link in bio for that. And I think you might be. I feel like was it you or was it somebody else that I approved the other night? Either way, if you're on there, the personal experiences section is perfect for that, to show the images and videos, because you'll get all of the minds of the community on that one able to look. Now that movement sounds very, very anomalous, and it's always funny, isn't it, that when we start to engage, when we start to look, like hanging out here, talking about all of these sort of things, that we then start to see some things. I hadn't seen anything UFO related. That was one of the major motivations for me doing this stream, was to let's get some evidence. Let's have a direct experience myself. I've had some spooky things, but nothing UFO or alien related. But when you do start to look, you start to notice. We tend to think that we observe the objective world as we walk through it. We'll notice things as they come up. But the brain doesn't work like that. It's always trying to save space. It's trying to filter things. There are far too many differences and things and details going on in the world there. So we have to filter things. We actually look for outliers, but within the realms of what we'd expect. So if you do not expect aliens to exist or to be here visiting us there, you can sometimes quite literally see an anomaly, something very, very strange, but you won't even think to put it in the potentially alien bucket there, unless it's so dramatic. And I think most of our lives now we spend looking down, especially with light pollution and fog and the bad weather and our stresses in the day-to-day world. We don't spend a lot of time looking up there, but when we do start to see things there. I know for a fact you and Leanne will love it. That I expect we will, TJ. Thank you. It's very exciting. Very kind of you. There. No, but you're joined so you can share. Brittany, I love that one. Guys, if you want to check that one out and Brittany shares it, remember, link in bio there. Join our Discord. You're all welcome in. The personal experience section is definitely my favourite. But there's lots of other information on there as well. All the latest news gets shared. Any sort of time we talk about a particular podcast or a video, it is posted there too. Rio is in the house. How are you doing? It's the first time seeing anything like that. It's weird, isn't it, that when you notice when you start to look with these things, that's not how I thought the world worked or my brain would work. But this is the thing, and there's a brilliant, I think, an analogy, maybe the correct term for it there. But I have a theory that plumbers probably don't report as many hauntings in their houses as, like, the normal population might. What the hell, plumbers here? Well, plumbers are spending their days knowing the intricacies of how your house works, how creaky pipes are and all of that sort of stuff. So if they hear a bump in the night, then they're probably just going to go, that's the pipes, default, totally unconsciously, it's going to go in. That is their structure of understanding. It's going to default to that. So again, there's not a big question mark for them to go, oh, could it be something a little bit stranger? And there's a good example of this. The other night, we've got one of those macerator pump things that goes from our sink, because it's in a weird place, and pumps the sink water across the house to the other side, to the drains, basically. And every now and again, it plays up. So the other night, I was going to bed, and I heard a strange sound. And in my head I went, oh, it's the animals. It's our pets. They're always making a noise. It's the chinchillas bouncing around. So I went to bed and ignored the noise, even though it's still going on. The next morning I come downstairs and there's bloody smelly sink water all over the kitchen floor. No, what that sound was the macerator going and dying a death. And because I had ignored it, it had overheated and caused a problem there. So even though that structure of understanding, which was, it's probably going to be the animals, it wasn't true. It was something else, and it was a pain in the ass. But that is how the brain works. That's why we miss things sometimes that are definitely in front of us there. And, we got in there. Leona, how are you doing? Good to see you in, and thank you for the gifts there. My opinion too as well. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Gift subs, members, all that jazz does go back into the stream. How are you doing, Leona, there tonight? Back over to here. Last day off tomorrow, Raf there. Have you made the most of it? What have you been up to? Just chilling out? Rio there coming in with the likes. Again, I appreciate that, guys. The likes and shares, that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there, like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds we get on the old phenomena, so the more we can all piece this puzzle together. You never know who's going to come in and what experience they're going to share. Just like Brittany, they're actually mentioning, about this experience, which we're going to be able to take a look at over on the Discord later. So absolutely, my favourite part of it is hearing that wide range of experiences there. And DJ sent a treasure box in. So guys, do thank DJ when you claim those coins. And thank you for the roses too. So yeah, we are doing an alien radio signal hunt tonight. If you've seen the film Contact or the recent TV series on Apple TV there, Pluribus, a very similar thing to that. It's the premise of a lot of sci-fi films. They're waiting around in those radio telescope control rooms. They're scrumpling up waste paper there, chucking it into the bin, and then all of a sudden they drop everything. They hear a sound coming through the speakers there, and they go, oh my god, it's an alien signal. But that's what we're doing tonight, and you guys are plugged in. Although it would help, wouldn't it, if I, there we go, turn the signal on so you could bloody hear it. There you go. So you should be able to hear that one now, guys. So behind the music and me talking, that sound, that is the sound of the signals coming in live. Now, there's nothing potentially alien on the screen at the moment, but if we do get lucky, if we are in the right place at the right time, it'll only be on screen for between 30 to 90 seconds. You think about the distances that we're at with the Earth rotating, even though it's a whole planet that we might be getting that signal from, it's only going to take a very short period of time before our dish is moving off of it there. So you should be able to hear those signals coming through now. So yeah, if we do get an alien signal coming, yeah, you'll hear it come through there nice and clearly. We can turn the music off and listen out. But yeah, it's a right place at right time sort of a deal. Where are we there? Let's have a look. Oh, hey up, hello, how are you doing? Good to see you in there. I've seen Contact several times. Amanda, I keep wanting to rewatch that at the minute. I don't think we've done it for our Alien Movie Club. If not, I think it's paid for at the minute. I'm too cheap, but I'm craving watching it again. There, and thank God it is Friday tomorrow. Oh my God, hey up, feeling that. I've still got to juggle hopefully getting the computer finally fixed tomorrow. But there is a slight chance, guys, that our streaming computer will have to stay over the weekend at the Clever Man's that is going to be fixing it. So hopefully we can all juggle that, and we'll be back on. It'll all be working. We can get those new features launched as well. Because actually, guys, one thing that we are introducing is, so the SETI thing that you're looking at right now, when that new computer is done, so I hope possibly even tomorrow night there, you will be able to log in on our website, and anytime, even if we're not online, and you'll be able to monitor this yourself, and you'll be able to log if there is anything strange that you detect, and you get your little name next to it as well, so we can, if you hear aliens, you can log it in there, guys. So hopefully that'll be ready for the weekend as well. Oh, we can hear the signal, excellent, because we were having issues the other day with that, weren't we? But luckily it is coming through as well. Can't wait for that. I think you're probably going to be the only person on it, but I had you in mind. I built it for you and the signals dashboard. Have you had a look at the signals dashboard yet? Hopefully it's right up your street there. That is accessible now. How are we doing, Kate? Good to see you. How is it all going? Tell me it's all going well there. So, guys, settling in for a night of alien radio signal hunting there. Rio, thank you for feeding Alan.
Nom, thanks, guys.
As well. Where are we? Oh, DJ, have you seen the new T-shirts? Look at these. This is our Signal Hunter T-shirt for the stream. There. You'll be on it when it's live there, DJ. Excellent there. You've got to check out the signals dashboard as well, because that's got all sorts of... I've not got my little adverts at the minute because the computer's down, so I can't show you the visuals. But it's got, solar weather, solar wind speed, the Schumann resonance there, all sorts of geomagnetic stuff there. Even social and political polls there showing, where the people's belief and things are kind of going polling publicly. And the idea is you can set the ones that you want, you can pop them out on your computer there and kind of just monitor these things in real time, totally independent of the stream being live. Oh, it's not so great today, but I spoke to my niece today and they've all done removing the feeding. Oh, that's good progress there for the niece point of view as well. Sorry about Hubs though. And send me a link for that tea. DJ, it should be shop.thething.ufo.live. So it's our normal website, but with shoppers rather than www there for it there. We've got. I quite like our t-shirts. I'm talking about them all the bloody time at the minute because it's the new toys. I just got the samples through, and I actually quite like them. Look, we've got a signal hunter. No, it's a UFO logbook there for your sightings, and all sorts of things. And at the minute, guys, all of the merch stuff is going back into the. Well, it always goes back into the stream, but we're hoping to save up to get ourselves over the next month or so over to Rendlesham Forest to do a live skywatch right from where the reported crash happened. Want to kick off, pull our finger out, and actually get the show properly on the road, doing our live on location skywatches there. And the tube she'll be in hospital about a week, but she's on the mend. That is very good to hear. You've had such awful times lately, though, Kate. And she's just having echoes of that hung nothing. It's still the echoes of the bug. Poor guy. It's non-stop for you guys, isn't it? Oh, Kate, I noticed. You're the first, actually. You're the first. You'll be the only person to have the Alan T, other than the one that I've got here as a sample. You're the first for Team Alan, and he says he forgives you for that. You know, said. You need the Allen keyring. Rio, they didn't do good keyrings. That's the damn... I did look to do that because I want to do keyrings, but they're the ones that we use for the printing partner. They were okay, but they were just like a tenner for a bloody keyring. I'm not doing that. It's 10 quid. But I'm keeping an eye out to look to see if we can do them there. It's in production, and they're actually quite good, the t-shirt. They are coming through quite quick there. Oh, thank you, Colin. I appreciate that. I normally, I don't wear a lot of t-shirts, but I really like the designs. Like, not that you can see it on here, but look, Signal Hunter, it's got the big dish, you know, listening out. The Skywatcher one's cool, and I quite like them. Anyway, actual stream stuff are now there. Have you seen Visitors of the Night? Very 80s bad movie, badly made, but... very butted, but I found the storyline to be quite... I haven't even heard of that one. You'll have to... If it's freely available, Amanda, like I say freely available, if it's like on a streaming platform or even on YouTube, then we need to add it to our movie club list, because what we do, guys, are over on the Discord community there. Once a month, we vote on an alien-themed movie there. Alan runs these polls, by the way, so you can submit either on our website or actually in the Discord channel. You just type the film name and then what platform it's on. Alan collects those, puts the poll together, we vote on it, and then end of the month, normally the last Friday, we all sit down and we watch the film and chat along in the Discord together for that. So yeah, we want the recommendations, guys, on our actual website. On the front page, scroll down, you can just manually put it in there if you aren't on the Discord, if you want to do some suggestions, which is thethingufo.live. Should take you to that one. And thank you there, Colin. Trevor, how are you doing there? Good to see you. And Rich is in. And Amanda there, I had no idea, but I can get to the DVD and try to upload it. Oh, God, I haven't done stuff like that in a long time. Starting to go back to DVDs now. Can't rely on the streaming services. And to think, when we moved about a year ago, the missus was like, come on, let's chuck your DVDs away. They look tacky, she said. They look tacky, all of your DVDs. I'm like, you're going to miss them. You can't always get it now. And I was right. It's ahead of the times. Yeah, we'll have to figure out ways of doing it. Where are we? Let's have a look over on the TikTok then. Where do we get DJ coming in with the shares? Thank you, sir. Again, it's the likes and shares, guys, that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And the more eyes and minds on the old phenomena, the better. The more we can all piece this puzzle together. Marcus, hello, and thank you for the gift there. And Kate as well there. And Marcus again. I've nearly missed all of those. Thank you for those, guys. It all goes back, said, into the stream there, helping us improve on what we do. But how have you been, Marcus? Good to see you. And where are we? Down over here. And Life Force is a good one. Add it to the list. If it's not, as long as it's not one of the ones that's you know, like you got to pay an extra whatever it is on Amazon to view it. We want it to be accessible to everyone. We should probably do a general movie list. We don't lose these good ones like that there. Love, my dear. I am the same, Amanda. I'm very physical. I like to have the collections. That, and I'm just very distrustful of society. I'd be a prepper if I had land. And don't forget to smash the likes and subscribe there. Thank you out. That's a good reminder. Guys, do make sure you are following or subscribed, whatever it is, wherever you are, because we do this every night. Cloudy nights, it's the Alien Radio Signal Hunt. Clear nights, we do the live UFO, UAP, Skywatch. Ooh. right in the heart of Crop Circle country here, just down the road from Stonehenge. So lots of weird things in these skies. Saturday's looking like it's going to be an amazing skywatch, So definitely make sure you're around for that. And if you're following, subscribe, you should get a notification when we go live for those. But the likes, the shares, all that tapping away, all that jazz really does help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves there. And so you never know who's going to come in, what experience or what their life skills or knowledge they're going to be able to contribute to us here. That is my favourite thing, is hearing people's individual accounts of the phenomena. And where are we down here? As well, and Trevor there, me too. The Blu-rays and the 3D. I don't know what the 3Ds, but the Blu-rays, if it's a special film, 100% it is worth getting them. Funny, I just watched a film called Extraterrestrial, and it was on YouTube then from 2014. Then came here. Excellent there, Colin. Hey, at least the algorithms work in suggesting these things. And I was surprised. Our last movie club, we watched Capricorn 1, and that was like a... they faked a Mars landing in the 70s, basically, was that sort of film. And that was on YouTube for free. It was totally up there for free. So I hadn't considered YouTube much before. But, I mean, it's a hell of a resource. What a time to be alive. I'm in the career that I'm in now because I just taught myself it from YouTube videos. So what a world that we live in. It rings a bell. And how are we doing, Gaza? Good to see you there. And it is on the tubes. Perfect. Well, so there we go. That is perfect for our movie club then. Just over in the chat, if you are on the Discord, type the name, put in YouTube, space YouTube, and then Alan will pick that up automatically, or on the front page of the website. Let's have a look back over to the TikTok. Where did we get to? And so then the Flash last night, did you review it? I did there, Kate, and you got a good clip of it for that one. So literally just as we were coming off of the stream, I was saying my, farewells and all that sort of stuff, and literally at the corner of my eye, this big bright flash in the corner of the screen, and I was just like, what the was that? Because it was far bigger from my eye, that brief second that I just saw out of the corner of my eye, bigger than like a normal satellite flash or anything like that. Really caught me off guard. Luckily, obviously, it was towards the end of the stream, so we could just watch the replay back and, the clips there. So I did review it, and there was an object moving with it. So probably it wasn't quite as interesting as I thought. Still cool to see, but I don't think it was anomalous there. But it was cool. It was very, very bright. And has there, overcast in Northamptonshire as well. Just popped out to check there. I honestly, setting up this stream in the UK was probably a terrible idea with the weather that we have. We did actually have a good run the other week, so I shouldn't complain too much. But this is why we do this, because I realised how many bloody cloudy nights that we have in the UK. But hopefully, yes, Saturday should be a lot clearer for us. It's looking very, very clear, and I'm excited to see if we can, get some more evidence there. Again, last night, it wasn't just that flash at the end. There were a hell of a lot of interesting things going on. All night, we had about 3 or 4 anomalies there. So, yeah, we are getting into the cool season there. Where are we? Down there. Okay. The way it flared like that, though, it was still so... definitely something special. Definitely. I think in my mind, what I thought was happening, because it was so bright and so big, I thought that maybe, like a shooting star just appears as like a line. If it's so fast, the camera only going to pick it up. So I was thinking it's so fast, it's probably quite close. So maybe it's something like within our atmosphere rather than in orbit that we might have caught there. So it was... I don't think it was that. I think it was something up there. So still potentially anomalous, back up there in orbit, catching the sun, but a big bright flash there. It was huge. It was a big one. It was very interesting. I've not seen Capricorn 1 for years there. Where can I find it? It's over on the tubes. It is over on the tubes. We watched it last movie club, and yeah, free to watch as well. They Live, the movie, it describes today. Oh, you know what? I've heard of that one. I think it's a classic one, but I haven't seen it. There's some of the classics that we just haven't done yet. We haven't done Our Namesake, The Thing. We need to do that, the classic one of that. We haven't done Close Encounters yet either, because that's behind a bloody paywall at the minute. But we want to do that one, I think. That's going to be an absolute classic. What's the next one coming out? It's Alien Autopsy, the comedy. Well, it's meant to be, it's comedy. It's based on the true events. but it is a more humorous, toned one. But it's quite good. So, guys, if you do want to hang out for that one, remember, join our Discord. Totally free. You're all welcome, even if you just want to lurk there. And what we do is we find it on whatever platform it's on. We'll press play at the same time, normally like 10 o'clock on the dot, and then we chat along in the Discord there, and normally gets pretty unhinged. And Alan is normally in on the chat there as well, giving his unhelpful opinions. So do join in for those ones. And Amanda there, I'll be back later there, but I'm staying logged in there. Awesome, Amanda, we'll catch you later on there. It is a good film. It is, and apparently, you know, that last scene at the end, I'm not going to spoil it, guys, but there's a last scene there in the end that is quite interesting. It's like some giant mirror or something. I think you're bang on with that. It's something incredibly high reflective. If you think of the satellites that are all going up around there now, there's obviously quite a variation within them, but they do tend, they've all got to fit, haven't they, inside the maximum rocket capacity that we can kind of do at the minute. So that does limit sizes, it limits solar panel arrays and things like that. So when you get something that is disproportionate to all of the others there, it does make you wonder, and especially as people have been seeing these sorts of things in the night sky far before man-made objects were up there in orbit. So are we seeing something that is a little bit a stranger there? And Gary, how you doing there? What have I missed? You've not missed much yet, Gary. I don't think we've had any activity on the screen, which just means it is yet to come. How are you doing though? And Deck is a classic. It was a good one. Are you going to hang around for that one, DJ? Going to catch us? What is the last Friday of the month? In fact, it'll come up on one of these little notification things. Hold on. Let's tell us about Discord on that one. Deep dive. Oh, you know what? I keep meaning to say, guys, so deep dives are paused at the second because we've got the streaming computer issues. But hopefully, from next week onward, we can get back to our members and Patreons deep dives as planned. So, we're there. Movie clip. Oh, it just moved. Bollocks. Looking for the announcement there. Oh, well. I'm sure it's last Friday of the month. I posted that video, but the guy with the glasses in Interesting Things. Oh, I didn't see that one yet. I'll have to check that one out there. About the disappearing stars and something about them being reflective discs. Oh, so that's probably the transients. It's based on that paper that was put out there recently about, you know, basically they look like stars, but they, when you analyse them and how they're reacting, yeah, there's something that's highly reflective up there, which shouldn't be. You know, there isn't anything organic that's meant to be, you know, that's meant to act like that. And did you get the clip of the whistleblower in the US saying alien life is real? Just the recent one they did on the steps of the Senate or something, wasn't it? The David Grush one, was it that one? Because I haven't got my messages, but very interesting. I think that moved the needle. Where did we get to over on the tubes? Oh, do we have a deep dive tomorrow? Up, perfectly timed for that. Yeah, no, sadly, I can't at the second, whatever it is with Patreon at the second, how you can stream to that, it ain't working with this. So I'm going to have to wait until the proper setup is done, which hopefully should be tomorrow night there, but I don't want to jinx it just yet, so we'll probably bump it to the following week and then kind of get back into a regularity for that. But you never know, maybe we'll do, because we've got a couple of documents lined up there. In fact, maybe even the one that was mentioned by David Grush during that press release there, the document that was put into the National Archives, the Australian National Archives, that he referred to, that we all needed to check out. I think Harco has linked us to that one as well directly, so we can possibly do that one. And there was a good TV series in 1992, and it was a two-part miniseries called Intruders, which was based on Bud Hopkins' book of the same name there. I remember being really good. Oh, I've not heard about that one. And oh yes, the last scene in Alien Autopsy. Exactly. So I've had the 6 week again, but it's still saying I'm not a member. That's weird. You came up on mine as showing as you was a member. I looked into it the other time, and it was showing that you're a member, but let me have a look on here. So I don't know why it's. Are you logging in with the right email address? That's the only thing I can think of. Let's log in here. Sorry guys, I want to sort this one out because I want to make sure everybody can. Don't want to log into my Google account. Oh, bloody thing. Am I in the right one? One of those changed absolutely everything. We'll get it sorted. Let's have a look. Is it going to load? Audience. Bloody thing. Go away. Right, where is it? Let's have a look on the old page. Sorry, guys. Come on in, searchy. God, it's such a useless website. There we go. Right. Yeah, you're in. It says. Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, you're in. You're in on Club Alan as well. Thank you for that one. Dressing Alan up. Yeah, so you are in. So I tell you what, Raf, if you're there, I'm just going to do a quick go live and tell me if you can get in on that live there. So I don't know what it's going to output because it doesn't actually. I can't connect it. That's the main problem. But see if you can get in, basically. Well, maybe it would work. I don't know. Right. All tears. So, go live now. Right. Yeah, let me know if you can get in on that. I have no idea what it's going to output. Let's see if you can get in on that one. Where do we get to in the chat there? And Wayne, there may be a silly question, but what is Discord there? Oh, Wayne, so it's not a silly question at all. It is basically, it's like an app that's like an old school forum come messaging app, but it's good for like communities. You know, you've got all your different categories, your different sections and stuff. So we've got a link in bio to it there. Hello, way up. You've made it over to there. So yeah, Raf, let us know if you can view that one, because you're definitely coming in as. Well, you're definitely on the system that you should be allowed. So the only thing I can imagine is if for some reason it's got a different email address and it's trying to log you in through one account and not another. But yeah, so it's like a messaging app. We've got all of our like little, feels like an old school forum basically, like that one. Oh, it's a separate channel. Link will be in the bio. Oh, yes, it is there. And Reverend, how are we doing, Reverend? How are you doing tonight there? And Trevor, have you seen stuff lately there? I filmed Golden Orbs in Wiltshire near Avebury, and many witnesses also West Kennet at 4 a.m. They're free golden balls there. So we've had some anomalies, but we've not had anything as dramatic as that lately there. Well, there we go. So if you go onto Patreon, Raf, and if you're logged in, you should be able to just see that we're live now if you're on our page. You should be able to see and just click through onto the live. So we've got a live going on there at the second. So you should just be able to kind of join in on that one. Or if you should see it as like an event to click on. And then if you click on that, it should work for you there. Let's bounce back over to the TikToks. How are we doing there? And Thomas, thank you for the gifts. Appreciate that, guys. Gifts, subs, patrons, or go back into the stream. And if you are just joining us, we are doing a live alien radio signal hunt tonight there. We're searching on the hydrogen line, which is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that ET is out there. This is where they'd put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? It's where the wow signal was heard, and many more anomalies since then. So if we get lucky, if we are in the right place at the right time, we might detect a signal. But again, it's right place and right time. Not only is our dish got to be over a planet that has intelligent life, but also when they are choosing to send that signal, they're unlikely to have the transmitter switched on all of the damn time, because it takes a lot of energy, and sometimes there's a lot of better usage for that one there. The screen looks like a synth. It does a bit. Well, it's all signal, it's all waves, it's all energy. This is basically what we're kind of doing, so you're not far off of that. I mean, it's all signals, isn't it? Electronic signals is what we're doing. Oh, did you get the clip? No, I did that one as well. Yeah, it's about that, and that's what it made me think of. So this is the thing, it might be actually something like that, and it's so hard to tell apart from the thing, because they're acting like, in fact, everybody was basically saying, look, it's satellites, what these people were seeing, but no, this was before man-made satellites. So they present very, very similarly. Hard to filter out, so it could be something very much like that. And how it just kind of jumped and then flipped out of existence. It makes you think of things like a warp drive firing up or something, doesn't it there? Although they did say it was reflective. Blue Nose, how are we doing, Captain? Good to see you in there. How's your week going? I was wondering if you preferred Patreon subs or YouTube subs. Oh, good question. Okay, so I think the YouTube side is a bit more stable from my geeky technological point of view, but YouTube also doesn't let me draw out the list of people, basically, so like things for like the Starship Allen and stuff, so I'm torn between the two. So either one, whichever is convenient for you guys as individuals there. Oh no, if you click on Patreon, it just shows me ways to join. Are you sure you're logged in with the same email? I won't read out your email, Raf, obviously, but if I could give you the last couple of letters of it, then making sure it's not giving you like an iCloud email or something, because I know mine's done that occasionally. Audience, let's have a look at that one. Right, I think I've ended that live now. Where are we? Rafi. Right. No, it's a Gmail. That is very, very strange, Raf. Because yeah, so it's your name, the date, and at Gmail. So I assume that would be the only one there. Can I try double check that it's all logged into the correct one? And if not, then I can refund you because if you're not getting it, that's a bit frustrating. Where are we as well? How are we doing, Indigo? Good to see you there. It's just it's funny, isn't it, Trevor, how these things overlap, isn't it? It really is, like, you see the connections of all of this there. Radio. So we're on, the frequency we're on is 1.420 point somewhere other. It's the hydrogen line. So it's very, very similar. Manifesting there. Blue Nose, thank you for that. It's very, very kind of you there. Where are we? Going down here. Indigo, how are you doing? Right, back over to the tubes. Oh, it's whatever is convenient to you, Kate. Whatever's convenient to you there. Oh, it's terrible connection you're in. It might have been because I was trying to actually do the Patreon at the same time, so sorry about that one. I didn't think that might hog our bandwidth. How is it now? There. And is it Samuel there? Is this your own signal code? It is. It is. This is, everything is our own here. It's our own dish. It's our own amplifiers, filters, you know, all the things plugged in here, or coming in. So we've got control of the signal chains. Quite a large dish, but it's obviously not as big as one of those massive radio telescopes. That means we can't hear, obviously, some of the fainter signals that a larger dish could pick up, but we're still very much in the range. And brilliant question there, Trevor, so always happy to answer there. And glad it is better now. I think it was where I was trying to do that extra little stream to test the connection for a RAF. It's very strange that it's not working. It's very frustrating as well, because it's coming up that you're in, you're consistently in, you're all good. So I don't know why having that trouble. I can only imagine that maybe it's logged in on the wrong one or something, or it's not logged you in as a creator or something. But yeah, so sorry, this is all our own gear here and our own software and things like that. It gives us, you know, the full control of the system. But yeah, obviously it's not as large as some of those other ones, but we're still very much in the range of detecting one of these wow signal type things. Very high powered transmissions is what we're on the listen out for tonight. And have you captured something? So doing this one, sadly not yet. They are quite rare, so it is a bit of, it's going to take a while. And the more we do it, the more our statistical odds increase of a detection. In fact, these sorts of anomalous radio signals, again, are very, very rare, but they're getting less rare. It used to be a case, it was like once every few decades science would detect an anomalous signal. They couldn't explain where it was coming from. But now it's gone to decades, it's gone to yearly, and now, I mean, the big boys are picking up things quite a lot of the time. So we haven't found it yet, but again, the more we do it, the more we have a chance of getting it. So when the weather is good, though, when the clouds are parting, we do a UFO UAP skywatch. Get the camera out, look to the night sky here in Wiltshire in the UK, which is right in the heart of crop circle country, and we do see some strange things on those ones there, and they are actually quite active. So hopefully, possibly tomorrow night, if the weather clears, we'll be back on that, but these are a little bit slower for those ones. Johnny, so we've not got a signal yet. And how are you doing though, Johnny? And pretty sure you can choose to log in through input an email, Gmail, Apple ID. Maybe it's something like that. Yeah, maybe it's something to do with that connection there. Good shout. And thank you so much. It's a brilliant question there. Where are we? Zen is in. How are you doing there? And what mode, Nick? What mode? We are on... Oh my god, what mode are we on now? I can't even remember now. I think CV. Hold on, let me just double check that one because that's going to bug me. 2 seconds, guys. The screen's going to go with me when I move my tabs. We are on CW. There we go. And the reason we pick CW is because it sounds the less offensive over the whole time. What we're talking about, guys, is basically the decoding is the best way to think of it. So the way that we put messages in radio as humans is that, well, radio is a natural phenomenon. The universe screams in radio, but we've adapted it as man here to put messages within that radio signal. And there are various versions of, you know, of how you can encode and decode that message from the signal. There, like FM is a way, AM is another one. If you're familiar then with your radios, with your, you know, your music radio and things like that, is how you sort of tune in, how the radio knows how to analyze the signal and what to hear. So we can select from various different versions of that. Now, the chances of aliens actually encoding a message within the signal is probably quite slim, slim that it's even going to match up to one of ours. But it does sound a bit better there. Thank you for the follow there, Samuel. Pluto, how are you doing? Good to see you in there. And, oh, you've clicked on something in the top left. It's taking me to the Patreon page, I think. Oh, okay. Right, I'm not streaming at the second now, Raf. But let's see if that one works for you on the next time. Well, actually, what's our... we should have some posts. If it's working, Raf, if you go to... on our main page, you should be able to see... Oh, yeah, if you couldn't see the latest one there, recorded live video, emergency deep dive 2. I think that's the latest one that we did. If you can watch that video, then it should be working. Because that one is, you know, you have to be a member to access it. So if that works for you, then maybe we've cracked it over there. And Nick, good question. So do ask away there as well. I've rushed to the top of the cat's bowls and get here. They're indigo. Good. I like priorities. They'll have to starve next time. No, I couldn't let the poor cat starve there, but good to see you in as well. And Trevor as well there. And Stu, evening. How are you doing there? So, Raf, if that's worked, that's good news that it is working now. Where are we? Let me scroll through there as well. Right, guys, if you are just joining us, we are doing our live alien radio signal hunt tonight there. We're searching what is called the hydrogen line, which is the channel on the radio dial that... scientists theorize that ET is most likely to leave that message. So we're not listening out for a UFO emitting a signal necessarily, or ET communicating to their other planet. They're going, hey, how are you doing, Dennis, or anything like that. We are listening out purely for an expected message of a civilization reaching out deep to the stars saying, hello, we're here. Is anybody else here? Sending a high-powered transmission, not knowing who or how many people, where they may be receiving that message there, because that is when they're most likely to put in a lot of energy to send that type of signal there. It's kind of like how we expected the WOW signal to be. So a signal detected in the late 1970s, not the only one, but it's one of the main interesting ones there. It was exactly what we'd expect an alien radio signal to look like, exactly where we'd expect to hear it. They're technological in nature and not coming from this Earth there. So that is the type of signal that we're listening out for tonight there. No worries, Raf. It's good to get it sorted there. And Trevor, are you able to stream in a different parts of the spectrum live if you see so? Oh, good question there, Trevor. So, technically it's feasible, but it's something we've not managed to get to yet. So the reason I say is that the camera that we use is currently just the visible light, so what we see with the human eye. But it is capable of seeing the infrared and the ultraviolet as well, but you have to send it away to get modified, to have the filter taken out of it, and then sent back to us. So in theory, and what we're hoping to do is save up to do that basically, and then we'll be seeing it all at the same time there, the same quality, but we're just seeing it all of that light that we wouldn't have otherwise been able to see. And the infrared in particular for sky watches, I think could be an absolute game changer. I think we'd see so much more. So it's on the list, but it's been on the list since last year, and then everything keeps coming up in the way. But it is hopefully getting closer now. Although saying that, we are trying to do our on-location live as the next priority to Rendlesham Forest, which is something that I am very keen to do, although I won't be when I get there, guys. You can remind me of how keen I was, and then when I'm scared in the woods there. But so that's a good question there, Trevor. Right, back over to the TikTok. How far did we get through with you guys? And Bristol Crypto there, watched Disclosure Day today. I haven't seen it yet. I'm very excited to. I should be, guys, seeing it a Saturday afternoon, touch wood, if all goes to plan. I didn't think I was going to, but the stars have aligned. And yeah, hopefully I'll see it then. Now, you've seen it, and everybody else that has seen Disclosure Day, without giving away spoilers there, do you think that it is just a bit of art there? Old Spielberg, he's just kind of got his finger on the pulse, knows what we're talking about in the community, and has made a cracking film based on that? Or do you feel it's kind of the reverse there? You know, he's had the tap on the shoulder and he's been tasked with telling us without telling us there, you know, through the medium of fiction. How do you guys feel it's leaning there? I'm going to go into it thinking, right, if they are tapping him on the shoulder, giving him instructions, what within this do they want us to know there? What is the key components that they need us to take away there? It's amazing. I love to hear that one. And conditioning the public for the real thing there. Very good. I mean, the timing, guys. You know, that is one of the biggest, I think, flags for me there. So, yeah, let me have a quick drink. God, I'm getting very thirsty lately. Excuse me. So yeah, guys, if you're just joining us, we are doing our live UFO... No, we're not. We're doing our live alien radio signal hunt there. So if you've seen the film Contact or that recent TV series Pluribus there on Apple TV, what we're doing? Big Dish, Night Sky, listening out, hoping to hear ET say hello. Now, again, it's very, very rare, but they do happen. The more we do it, the more our statistical chances do increase of getting a signal there. So keep your eyes on the meters there. In fact, if we go over here, look, we are technically getting a signal. Look at this little ridge here. As you can see, hold on. Excuse me. So as you can see, there is this little square patch here. Now that is a signal, but it's likely to be electronic interference because it's been with us the whole time. So that time tells us that the source of that is sitting here with us. It hasn't gone away as the Earth has rotated, so it's not out there. But also its nature, how thin it is there. Radio is interesting. It tells you a lot about itself there. It's quite unambiguous. But what we're looking at here tonight is this is the live signals coming in across all of the different channels. You can see the numbers down here. This is, you know, like the channels in the dial that you turn your old-fashioned radio to tune into the different music stations. We're just down really far down the low end there, but these are all the signals coming in live, and this is our area of interest around this line here. This is the hydrogen line where we'd expect those signals to be. Now this section here is the same as the above, but we're displaying that data rather than those dynamic peaks that are jumping everywhere, hard to follow. We're displaying it as averages, and this allows us to see these trends, this lovely wavy motion of the background there, but also this square ridge that you can't quite see on the top there. Now there's a very thin spike that every now and then it jumps up every few seconds, which is what's causing that, but it helps us to identify those things going on. Now behind the next section down, so on TikTok you can't really see this, but this is a live sky map, and it shows you what stars are in range of our dish. It's sort of effective area. Or we should have another one coming in range any second now. We should have two close by stars in range there. But again, over on the TikTok, you're not seeing the full picture, so definitely check us out over on the old tubes there. We're at the Thing UFO. So you guys are literally just getting the slice through the center of the screen. You're just seeing those bits. But on top of all that, there is what else is there? There is the solar weather conditions, all that stuff that can, you know, affect radio signals against a natural phenomena, and therefore we can that can affect our signals coming in. Obviously weather conditions as well, but geomagnetic index there, solar wind speed is recorded, but you're also seeing the actual audio waveform, so the signal waveform, all that is being monitored and sort of displayed there and compared to previous ones. And there's also information on those planets that are, the stars that are in range of our dish. So at the minute it's Azun, not pronounced that way, but I can't pronounce the correct way, and Dashuba there, 77 light years and 400 light years, I think there. So that's a little bit of a range that we're seeing here. So it's definitely worth checking out over there as well. But what we're hearing now, if I shut up for a second and turn the music off, that is this background line here. This is what we're hearing, the background line. And it's called the cosmic microwave background. Scientists think that it is the leftover remnants from ever so slightly after the Big Bang, which is pretty cool to hear, but it is the same as the static you've heard on your radio before, and it is the same as the static on your TV in between channels there, if you remember the old-fashioned TVs. It is exactly the same. Pretty cool to think that we're listening to the remnants of the Big Bang there, but yeah, that is what we're doing tonight. So hopefully we'll get a signal, and then you'll hear that one come through nice and clearly. Let's have a look. and conditioning the public for the real thing. I lean that way there. And Samuel, I understand that you could capture a pulsar on the hydrogen wave. So in theory, yeah, I mean, my knowledge of radio outside of what we're doing tonight is very, very limited, guys. Very limited. But yeah, I mean, look, nature screams in radio. You can tune into planets, you can tune into celestial events there, you can pick things up. I mean, that's why they have radio telescopes. It's not just the visual, the optical light, is it there? It is in sound. They have these dishes and it tells us all sorts of wonderful things about the universe alive. So definitely can tune into all of these things there. And Kate, they're loving the stickers there. And Bristol, thank you for the follow. I'd say where are you in tonight from, but you're from Bristol. Which you were at work there. I was in Weston with work today. No, tell a lie. I went to Weston once, very briefly, to pick up a parrot. The parrot I have now, or one of them, he came from Western Superman. But I haven't actually been during the day. I watched Independence Day yesterday there. No worries, Rio. Don't ever worry about the spelling here. Jesus. It's all good. But Independence Day, another classic. And we was going to do that for one of our movie clubs. And then they took it off of Netflix, didn't they? Like the day before and threw us into a right tailspin there. It's interesting. In Kew Stoke area. I'm not even familiar nowadays. There, how are we doing, TikTok? Good to see you. And Kate coming in with the gifts and feeding out.
Nom nom nom. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for that one. Where are we? Down there as well. Oh, I'm from. Is it Ton Green there in Belgium, the oldest city there. Could I set this up? Yes, Samuel, yes, you could. And great, good to have you in from Belgium. I love the industrial space, so definitely you can. In fact, this equipment, the radio equipment, is supplied by a company called Nuelec. They make a lot of these, software-defined radio products and things like that. And we did a giveaway with them actually back in March, and three of you guys won some starter sets. So it's not actually that expensive. So the principle is you can very, very much do this at home. And definitely go to nuelec.com. They sell some very specialized stuff for that. It's very good. It's against the stuff we're using tonight. But also, the trick of it is the bigger the dish you have, the quieter the signal that you can hear. And if you think about it like shouting, if your friend's shouting across a field, if they're shouting louder, you can hear them better. If there's a road in between you, they're going to have to shout louder than the road to reach us. And radio is kind of similar to that. So if you imagine your ear, imagine you had a giant ear, it'd be more sensitive and it'd pick up quieter noises so you can hear things from further away. So those massive radio telescopes that you see on the TV, they can pick up incredibly faint signals there. And obviously would love one of them. We don't have one of them. We're still quite a big one there, and we're in the range of being able to detect these signals. But the bigger the dish, the more sensitive you can hear, but you can definitely do it alone. And this is not the only alieny interesting thing that you can do with radio. Radio is a fascinating property of the universe. What's the raving snail? Oh, I missed I have to watch the replay. Actually, if only they posted those ones automatically again. Back over to the tubes. Where did we get to? Oh, Indigo, they're not watched yet. I haven't just heard the spoilers yet. I've been trying to do the same with them. I've not heard much chat about it. I've seen the normal YouTube reviews. Ayap, have you seen much chat about it as well? And all by design there. Quite possibly, Trevor. And Galactic there. See, I am so distrustful of anyone in the American government and Hollywood and media that I thought they released classified files to hype up the movie. Their files, we've all seen the classified. Should have his quotes around it. I mean, Galactic, you're not wrong. This is the thing, especially in this day and age there. I mean, I don't know if they did just to hype up the movie, but honestly, if they come out and said that, I wouldn't be half surprised. And I think we do, even if it's what we want to hear, even if we already do trust certain sources, keeping a few percentage back just to filter these things, just to check on things, I think is actually quite healthy with it there. So a lot of the stuff that has been released at the minute, I don't think a lot of it was classified, is it? Tell a lie. A lot of the videos were previously classified, but it does feel like they're building up to me. So as long as they continue this, and I've got to admit, there's been a bit of a break, and I'm getting a bit worried now. But if they do a third drop, and again, it's incrementally a bit better, I'm going to be happy with that. As long as we're on that journey, I can totally get, and in fact, I probably think it's quite sensible to ease everybody in, because it's not just us, it's not just the people that know about this sort of stuff, the people that are hungry, it's everybody. It's those people that not only do their worldviews not contain aliens, but also do not allow for that, the opposites. You have to ease them in. It's a bit of the foreplay, because otherwise you'll have sort of a catastrophic disclosure, as they call it, and it kind of, you do not want your bus driver to be so traumatized by the idea of aliens that he can't drive you to work in the morning. And that's the thing I think they've got to be careful of. But the timing of the film, so maybe it's going to come out after the next drop. But yeah, we can't take it for granted. And yeah, look, even this day and age, that's quite hilarious. You never know. Oh, you never know what they would do for movie promotion. Where's my bloody cursor gone? Is it on this? Where's my fucking... Oh, there it is. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screens, guys. So I lose my mouse sometimes. There. And Trevor, when I was a kid in the early 80s, my granddad told me they will tell you the future through the movies. Really? But this is how it works, isn't it? And it doesn't necessarily have to be literal a lot of the time, but you can still convey stories. You know, we have, you know, the hero's journey, the good versus evil narrative. It's still informing people, telling people how to navigate in the world sometimes. Respect, flying to you all. Thank you, Trevor, there. And I'm still going to see it tomorrow night there with my husband for a date night. But I'm skeptical of all the reasons for disclosure right now. And I think very, very justified. Very justified. And this is the thing. Even if I'm right, you're wrong. You know, and I'm not saying that because I actually do quite agree. But even if I am, we need other people to have the counter opinions. Because our grip of what is right is not that tight. It's kind of like an immune system, having people of the opposite opinion there, because a lot of the time you need that in there. You need somebody to go, when you realize that you've been wrong the whole time, you need somebody that's been working in the background, figuring things out the other way. So we need that mix, don't we, of people, even if it's only slightly over here and slightly there. But I am very much on the side of you gotta just take a little bit of pinch with a lot of these things there. Even if we get what we want to hear, you know, if we get old Trump out on the White House lawn with a big shiny flying saucer there, Alan pops out to say hello. Even then, guys, you have to kind of back your mind, go, this looks interesting, I like it, but are they trying to sell you something here? Is there an ulterior motive? We have to filter it through, because that's literally how scams work. It's when they bypass because you've already approved something in your brain. And I'm starting to get into that old man territory now, because I fell for one a few weeks, but it did turn out it probably wasn't actually a scam, but it's like, you know, close call, because I wouldn't have bloody noticed there. But, you know, they get through with something. So the gist of my story with that one is that, do you remember the PPI stuff for credit cards in the UK? So, you know, where the banks basically overcharge people for credit cards, and then, or for insurance related to credit cards. Big scandal. Government said you've got to reimburse everyone like that. So you had to apply to see if you were owed any money. And it was always on the TV for years. You're owed this much money. And then you could do it and see if, yeah, they'll get you a check, basically, pay you back for this. And I, at the time, went, I probably haven't. Never did. And then literally as they closed it, my brain went, probably should have just checked if you were owed a few quid there. You know, you could do with that. And in my head, I was racked with guilt of not applying, not checking to see if I had. And then I got an email through going, we're doing another round of PPI check-in or something like that. And I think it was an email, something stupid like that. We're doing one last round, you know, fill in your details here to see if you're eligible. And I did. And it was only after bloody doing it that I went, wait a minute, I didn't check it. I was in my head, I was so just going, oh, I've missed that opportunity, I'm now looking for the next one, that any critical thinking, any filtering just did not occur to me. Like, now luckily it did. I think it was legitimate. No, I did not get paid out, but nobody's stolen my identity just yet. But the principle, yeah, is like, that's how they catch you out. You're not always aware of these things. So for us here in the UFO world, you know, if we have a very specific theory around all of the phenomena, if they come forward and say, yes, it's this and this, your brain's going to go, that matches with what I expected, boom, brilliant. And we won't necessarily think to double check there. And I believe aliens are out. I think so, galactic there. And Stu, the idea of sentient plasma entities is the thing that fascinates me at the moment there. Maybe the tales of the Foo Fighters during World War II are true. I think so. I think the plasmoids, the idea that there is sentient plasma life that appears as these sorts of balls, but it's been here the whole damn time, but it's just a little bit too strange for us to have recognised it as life previously. There is a lot of indication for that. Even the UK government Condign report of the late 90s, early 2000s, basically that was conclusion was, we think this is a thing, we need to look more into these plasmoids. Don't know if it's going to be all of what people report in the night sky, but it fits for a lot of it there. And Wise Man there, cursor, fitting from the screen to screen, could be a metaphor for how UFOs hop from reality to reality. Yes, it could be. 1 second it's on one screen, then disappears and pops up on the next screen. It's a little bit like magic sometimes. So I like that one. Rich. Where are we over on the TikTok? Let's have a look. Where did I get to? Yeah, so like you said, you also do a camera and a clear night. There ever captured something that is not on radar? So, Samuel, good question. Yes, we've captured lots of anomalous things, actually. There should be on the TikTok. If you click through on our profile, there's like one of our most interesting ones is pinned, but there are various ones throughout the page there. But yeah, have we caught things that aren't on radar? Well, lots, really. The planes aren't so much a problem for us. With the camera lens that we have, the planes are actually quite identifiable. They look really different. What for us is more difficult to filter out is the satellites and the things up there, a little bit higher up, because they all present very, very similarly. But there are ways to filter them out there. I mean, mostly by their movements. So, you know, at certain altitudes, things can't just go left, right, up and down. They follow straight lines, follow consistent orbital paths and things like that. So we've definitely seen some strange things along those lines. Now, what those things are, once you've filtered out the planes, the drones, the man-made satellites, the space junk, and all that jazz, the shooting stars, once you've filtered that out, you're not left with much. But there is something there. So we've definitely seen those as well. And Kate coming in with the shares. Appreciate that, guys. It is those likes and shares that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. You never know who's going to come in and what experience with the phenomena that they are going to share. So I appreciate that. It's my favourite part there, Pluto. Thank you for the gifts as well. They're bloody hell. There's loads there that I just bloody missed. And I think you fed Alan with that as well.
Nom nom nom.
Thank you, Pluto. It's very, very kind of you there. All goes back into the stream. Help us improve what we do. I said, in fact, at the minute it is going towards getting us to Rendlesham Forest for a live Skywatch on location from where that crash reportedly happened back in the 80s. And Pluto, oh, I'm sure there's a shortcut to find your cursor. I'll probably forget it. I'm also across Mac and Windows with these multiple screens. So technically it's three computers running three computers running the 6 screens. It's like bloody mission control in here, I tell you. I'm a gadget person. And Natalia there, they are here for sure. A couple of years ago, I saw a UFO very close above me there. And last summer, another one. Oh, now, very close as well. I don't know if I've had a particularly close encounter like that myself. Most of what we've seen has been here through the screens and stuff. And it's a little bit different to being out there. But there was one anomalous occasion, but I couldn't see like the craft outline. It was just a strange light. So could you see any details to that, having it close? Was there anything, of note that jumps out there? Skywatcher, how are you doing? And so it looks like what you're saying is coming to light about the plasmoids. Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't take any credit for it. Many other very, very intelligent people is where I got my information from on that one. But it really does. It does look like that's a part of the phenomena. I don't necessarily push where I particularly believe, mainly because I'm not any smarter than anybody else. I've not got access to any information that nobody else has. And I think this is the whole point of this is about us sharing our information rather than what I particularly favour or don't at any one time, because, you know, the opinion changes all the time. But if I was to place some bets, and this is not exclusively other things aren't happening, but I think a good chunk of it, of the phenomena that we report, is going to be the plasmoids, and another good chunk of it is going to be future humans. I'm pretty, that one is the most compelling for me. That's one fits the puzzle piece. It fits a lot for what we report with the greys and that what we think is being extraterrestrial a lot of the time. Now, doesn't mean that there isn't an extraterrestrial component or a dimensional component of those things as well there, but at the minute, the shoes that fit the best for the second, at least, I think those two are going to make up the bulk of the sightings that are explained. But whether that proves to be the case, we'll have to see there. The UFO I saw I wasn't thinking about, etc. It just happened, and it landed. But I was too scared. I do not blame you there. Like, I crave to have an experience like the phenomena, like, you know, you're describing there. But it does not take for much for me to go full Scooby-Doo and start running away, as I'm sure you'll see when we're going on location next. Speaking of which, we are going, hopefully, if the weather holds, next Wednesday or Thursday to do a location on one of the old INH hill forts here locally, the old UFO hotspots from the 60s and 70s where we've seen things before. And then after that, at some point, we should be doing a Rendlesham Forest, if all goes to plan. Scared. Honestly, Natalie, you're probably very sensible, because even if, little green men don't come out with any malicious intent, the very nature of the craft themselves could be just inherently dangerous. So there is a theory that basically their propulsion mechanism is essentially a warp drive that bends time and space. And what that means with that bending of reality is that shifts radio waves, shifts the light waves there into different frequencies. So it can actually make them essentially radioactive. So what would be a normal radio wave becomes a dangerous radio wave, or standing in front of your microwave essentially with the door open. What could be normally fine, but because of that warp drive can be dangerous. A lot of people have had contact and had certain illnesses that are very similar to like this sort of radiation sickness, as if that has happened to them. So the advice is, if you do see a UFO, don't go and touch the bloody thing, because there's a lot of times of that going wrong, but I would be a little bit tempted, but also equally scared for that one. And they're not balls there. Nearly every plasmoid comes with a mimicry, like infrared footage of the tethered objects. So technically, yes, this is the thing. Well, I think plasmoids is a plasma that is bound by a magnetic field there. So natural state probably would be a sphere, but natural rest doesn't necessarily mean that it can't or doesn't choose to do anything like mimicry. And against that mimicry, that behavior there, it feels very organic, doesn't it? Like it feels like more playful behavior necessarily than tactical or considered electronic behavior, because if they were mimicking something, they'll just mimic it like that. We wouldn't see the transitions, but there is that little bit of playful, there's like a consciousness to it. And again, when you see how they move, seems like, again, very organic there, not to the rigid drone-like controls necessarily. And at KAGM there, have you ever got a sound there? Sadly, we haven't yet, but there have been quite a lot of anomalous signals detected over the years. Obviously, most people have heard the WOW signal. Again, it was exactly what an alien radio signal was expected to look like, exactly where we'd expect to find it, which is at this very frequency that we're listening on. But they are quite rare. Now, they're getting less rare as our technology gets better and better. And the more we do it, the more those statistical odds increase, because we are listening out purposely for an alien civilization. They're sending us a high-powered message. Now, but they're not going to be sending it the whole time. So not only have we got to have our dish pointed over the right star, it's also going to be pointed over the right star at the right time. Again, heavily energy intensive there. So they're going to need... They won't have the transmitter on the whole time. They've got other uses, basically, for the energy, in the same way that we do as humans. We as humans, we sent one brief message once in the early 1970s. We haven't done it since. We've always had better uses for that equipment. We're doing some scientific work now, or we've got better uses for that energy. We did it once. Why would aliens be any different? So it's a bit of a lottery, but the more we do it, again, those odds do increase. The universe is just so vast that even these rare events can become common just on the scale of numbers. There. So again, the more we do it, the more odds we get. But the sky is again much more active when we're doing our UFO UAP sky watches. Now, hopefully tomorrow night we might get a chance for a clear sky again, because we've had a good few this week. But hopefully they'll be clear tomorrow night. But Saturday is definitely looking very, very clear. So make sure you're following or subscribed wherever it is, wherever you are, and you should get those notifications when we go live. And being based right in the heart of Crop Circle country and just down the road from Stonehenge, again, our skies are bloody alive there. But if you are just joining us tonight, it is the live alien radio signal hunt. We are searching the hydrogen line, which is the channel on the radio dial where scientists theorize that if ET is out there, this is where they would put the message, hello, is anybody else out there? It's where the infamous WOW signal was detected back in the mid or late 1970s, one of those points, late 1978, I think, there. But a lot of other anomalous signals have been detected right here since as well. In fact, some maybe from our closest neighbors, which is pretty fucking terrifying if you think about it. Well, actually, I can't decide if it's terrifying or actually pretty cool. Either way, that our closest neighbour in the solar system, out in space there, in the galaxy, there we go, that they're at a similar or more advanced technological level if we're picking up radio signals from them. So terrifying, because two people very, very close there, that's prime for conflicts at some point when we can reach each other. But then also, if two solar systems, in the galaxy next to each other have life, then it's going to be everywhere, and we've not been invaded yet, to the best of our knowledge. So maybe then it's fine. KGM, that was a good question. Thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight? And if you are new here, guys, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Ask away any questions. There's no silly questions here at all. We'd love to hear it all there from you there. And Skywatcher, it's a very difficult phenomenon for people to understand with any basic idea of physics. I think you're very, very right with that. This is the thing. We understand based on the things we already understand. It's sometimes we know it's very difficult to just try to not come in with any assumptions and try and fit it to existing models. And what is the chances? I mean, if we do not see in all of the light spectrum, and we do not hear in all of the ranges of sound frequency, and the rest of reality that we don't perceive, what is the chances that we can fully conceive of what may be going on in the full range of the phenomena? And Natalia there, the UFO I saw made almost no sound, and it was more of a windy sound, but pretty quiet there against one of those observables. The sound, and it was around. The sound was windy, but silent. Blue, green, and red colour around it flew above me. That is amazing. Could you get an idea of how large? It's amazing. So was it like a ball of light, or was like the craft itself that colour, like a blue metal, or was it just like a big bright lights? And Pluto, I'm going to be down south soon. Probably go to Longleat with the family there. We'll give you 100% Pluto. You have to give us a wave as you go past. And I was stunned. I was, you have to let us know when you're coming. And I was like that ancient aeroplane, etc. And it was a landing behind the dunes. Like, in that situation, part of me would be like, this is your chance to get hands on, to get that confirmation for yourself. And the other part of me would be absolutely terrified. Like, if I'm thinking about this logically, even if the aliens were a bit bad, they want to take me back and probe me forevermore on their home world. Still though, when else do you get the opportunity to ride in a spaceship, travel to another planet, What else am I going to do with this life? So, but saying that, I'm sure I would regret it pretty swiftly. I'll see if they'll let me stream. And I was alone outside, and after it disappeared behind the dunes, I was like, nope, yeah, I think that is a pretty human. I'd like to think of myself as being brave in that situation, but being realistic, no, not at all. Probably the very sensible thing to do there, and don't know what would come out exactly. Yes, we have the data around plasmoids since it's observable, and the rest, honestly, never seen anything. Well, that is the good point, isn't it, there? This is something that is actually observable there. There are lots of places where these plasmoids do appear there. Is it Hersmarden? So it starts with a H, somewhere on the continent, I think. They're regularly seen. Science has started to observe them and gone, these are interesting. They're displaying the patterns. They're displaying what looks like intelligent behaviour. I think Martha in Texas as well as a few places like that. But the rest of the phenomena, it's very difficult to get data on these things. Now, I do think the military probably has data, and there are possibly more in that position, but the rest of us, no, not at the second. And after every time, the frogs stopped making a sound, which also happened that evening there, and I felt being watched there. The animals pick up on these things. But also, it could be something like this warp drive that they're being used, where they're basically creating a pocket of reality. Now, it sounds very far-fetched and sci-fi, but it doesn't break physics. That is, actually the mainstream scientific understanding of how they're going to be likely to do this. It is possible. We just need a lot of energy. It's why we can't do it. But you bend space and time around you, and therefore, you can go faster than light because you're not actually traveling. The universe itself is breaking the rules there. So it's very, very cool. But what happens is that technically it creates this bubble, and therefore things like sound and weather, they don't come in, they don't penetrate the bubble. It's its own pocket of the universe. So the people are thinking maybe people are caught in these bubbles to a degree. They're in that field of influence, and they're just not interacting with those outside sounds, or the animals are picking up on something, which they definitely do. They've got more senses than us there. And Nelly, new here, what is the frequency that you're playing there? Because I've heard this twice over my house. Really? Now that's pretty cool. Whereabouts in the world are you there? And a brilliant question. So we're listening on the hydrogen line. So this is the channel on the radio dial, the frequency that scientists theorize that if ET's out there, this is where they play the message, where the wow signal is heard. So at the minute, if I shut up and turn the music down, that sound actually isn't necessarily the sound of it is on the frequency, but this is just the CMB, the cosmic microwave background. They're coming through, and we're just hearing that as a sound. But as far as we know at the minute, this is just the background noise of the universe, which is pretty cool to think, isn't it? There, it's the leftovers from the Big Bang. I think they said 380,000 years after the Big Bang, which in the billions and billions of years of the universe is literally the second after, compared to these things. So that's the sound that we can hear from there. But that's very interesting. You've heard this twice over your house, so like coming from the sky, because you don't hear about this a lot, but there are still a reasonable amount, and it's normally like once a century. These are not common events, but they happen quite periodically, again over different cultures, different technological areas, but you get weird sounds as part of the phenomena. Not commonplace, but there's an anomaly, a repeated anomaly there. In fact, this little town that we're in here in Wiltshire called Warminster, it has its own UFO history here. Big event here in the 60s and 70s, which was kicked off. The very first event was an anomalous sound that basically was so debilitating for the woman that heard it and future people. They didn't know where it come from, what it was, but it, put her to the floor, hands to the ears, just crippled her there. But then we got all the sightings, the beings, the landing craft, all this sort of jazz, missing time as well. But yeah, the sound part of it is a running theme. It's not as common, but makes it a bit more interesting there. And it's only there later, 3 years ago again, frogs stopped making a sound, and I was alone. I felt beyond you noticing the indicators there. And I was like, nope, went quickly back to the village there. At the moment I thought I was okay, I heard a low grow behind you there. I was scared. Yeah. My God, I've got images now, Natalia, that you're living out in like a werewolf country, or like somewhere like from a Disney film, or like a Brothers Grimm, like a Hansel and Gretel style like village that you live in. Oh, whereabouts roughly? You don't have to be too specific, give away your location, but like whereabouts geographically-ish is that one? Summer 2025. I was a silver object flying. I saw a silver object flying. And this time, wanted to meet. Oh, so this was a silver object. Do you feel like maybe the craft itself made you feel more comfortable, or was it that you had kind of had those experiences and understood them, and now you're like, okay, now I'm ready? Or was it like a different craft, one that you could pick up was possibly a bit safer, maybe there? And Skywatch, yeah, it's always playful, like coming in flocks, responding to mirror signaling. Exactly, there is a playful and organic quality to it, I would think. Adam, how are you doing? Good to see you in there. There's a massive rabbit hole coming if this leads into actual clear footage of balloon mimicry. Could you imagine that as well, though? Like, all of the years we would go, it's, the writing off, it's weather balloons. Well, what if we were all both right? What if it was the plasmoids, this non-human intelligence, that was mimicking weather balloons, and the skeptics are right through? That'd be hilarious. And Pluto, what if we are the Native Americans on the horizon? Is a ship's mast? I mean, it's a risk. It is a plausible scenario, and we cannot be ignorant to that fact. Not guaranteed, but it's something we do have to seriously consider with any sort of contact or relationship. Even just knowing that there is life out there, even if there's no confirmation that it is visiting us yet, knowing that life is out there, then it's just a matter of time. Oh, Nelly, West Sussex as well then. I've heard low frequencies so much, so I've ran outside to see what it was. I'm trying to think, West Sussex, yeah, has it got a reputation for those sorts of things? I think the Sussex Downs has a little bit of folklorish sort of stuff there. Very interesting for that one, for those experiences. Adam, there, have we ever had any signals? So we've had some anomalous background signals, but I think they're going to have been more to do with like space weather and all that sort of stuff that's going on, picking up on all that sort of. But we've not had our own wow signal yet, which means it's hopefully to come. Again, they are very rare. We wouldn't expect them probably more than like once or twice in our whole career of doing it. These are, quite rare things, but it means that it's not like getting a good UFO video, which is cool, but there's a lot of those out there. This is much, much rarer. If we did get that big spike of a clear signal tonight, we all get to be in the paper here. We all get to be in the paper there. Oh, check the pet section there, Kate. Hold on, let's check our Discord. Let's have a look. Oh, that is sad. I'll have to reply to that one after. So, poor Rosetta with that one. hold on. Yeah, I'll have to take me a minute to write something out there. Where are we? Yeah, and nearly there. I recently went to White Sheet Hill and took wheat from the crop field. Naughty. But do you get like crop circles around that sort of area as well there? Natalia, a couple of years ago, was in the Netherlands, that UFO. Wow. And 3 years ago, Italy, and last summer also Italy. Oh, I do like the idea of travelling around there. But see, the phenomena, we hear this a lot, do we? Oh, it's just the Americans. If the aliens were coming, why are they so interested in America? But that's just the observation bias, them being so dominant in the media. It happens everywhere. It happens, and that is, as I said, the thing that has really blown my mind away at the most. Doing the stream is hearing all of your original, your individual accounts, like you're sharing tonight there, and going, so many people have got the phenomena, have had these experiences to various degrees. It's just so common there. I think when that stigma goes and we can fully share the truth of our experiences, we'll find out we've got a lot more friends in common that we just haven't mentioned it to, or they haven't been able to feel comfortable enough to share it. Adam there coming in with the shares. Thank you for that, guys. It's the likes and shares that helps us reach more and more like-minded people there like yourselves. And it does make me wonder why I was allowed to see the UFO so close. Well, that is another part of it, isn't it? Was it just luck? Or if you're seeing it twice, that's it there. Oh, White Sheet, I knew I remember the name. Yeah, I took wheat from the crop circle. And it's moved since I dried. Really? So that is innocent. Just keep us updated. I wonder if it'll grow funny from there. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tubes. Let me have a look. Where do we get to in your chat, guys? I must be getting hot. It is a bit warm there. And yeah, the greys are from the future. It's the most plausible. Look, it's not slam dunk with the information I have got. I couldn't say scientifically, but there are some very plausible hypotheses around that one. So that's the way I'm leaning at the minute there. And where are the aliens there? Is that Safu? Where are the aliens? Well, they may already be here. They may be in our skies, in our oceans. This is what we're all hanging out to find out there. And look forward to watching the live at Indigo. Watching me get scared. And aliens are in our oceans for sure. Again, a part of the phenomena that the information was there the whole time. People have been reporting it for the longest time there. You're going back to old naval logbooks, the 1800s, they're having sightings. Christopher Columbus had sightings out in the oceans that what we would describe today as UFOs, let alone all the current ones. But it just wasn't reported a lot. Didn't really hear of it. Or humans that started everything. Oh, possibly. I mean, this is the thing, like if aliens can come back in the future to mess with us, was there an organic starting point, or is it just this weird time paradox where we cycle through, we develop, we go back in time, we seed ourselves, we develop, all sorts of strange stuff could be at play there. Like it up and spread the channel there. I appreciate that one, Colin, as well. Again, that is my favourite bit, because the likes and shares, they help us reach more and more like-minded people like yourselves. And it's hearing those accounts like we're hearing tonight. You guys are very generously sharing there. That is my favourite part. And nerds, exactly. Where are Nick there? Oh, new subscriber from North Wales there. And I've been a Southwest listener since the 60s. Oh, shortwave listener since the 60s there. RTL V4. And, I can't remember that. And yes, excellent. Now, Nick, brilliant. Good to actually have somebody that knows about radio more than me here. So, have you ever experienced any of these weird phenomena that are around in the radio? So I'm thinking things like long delay echoes, because this is a weird thing that happens, that is observed sometimes in radio. And it's the other weird thing that could be alien UFO related there. Now, the idea is that, we know how radios work mostly, how radio signals propagate and how they move around. And the idea with this long delay echo is, as it is on the tin, it's an echo with a long delay. And it's about a 7-second delay, which implies that radio, at the speed of light, which it travels, is 3 seconds out and 3 seconds back. So there's something at 3.5 seconds away from the source, from the Earth, and that signal, that is either reflecting or actively repeating that signal back to us. Now, 3.5 seconds at the speed of light isn't the moon. There's just nothing out there that we know, other than something called Lagrange points. And now these Lagrange points are basically parking spots in space, because everything up there in space doesn't sit still. It's all moving, it's all in orbit, everything is in motion up there. It's being interacted with gravitationally. So everything is absolutely moving there, except for, funnily enough, these Lagrange points. They are where big gravity masses of the Earth and the Moon, the gravity cancels each other out at a certain point, and you can put things in it. The James Webb Space Telescope is sitting in one of these Lagrange points now, so it doesn't have to keep maintaining its orbit and its position. Isn't going to re-enter the Earth, basically. So it's up there, parked up there now, but about 3.5 seconds, where we're getting this signal reflected, might be bouncing, or actively repeated back to us, is exactly where, if you're using your brain, an alien would park a long-term probe to monitor us here. And why repeating our signal back to us? Well, what would we do? Well, it's been theorized that basically if we could put a probe in the orbit around another planet there, you'd have it to look out for signs of intelligence. The first sign of intelligence would be radio signals. And what would you do with a radio signal? You'd get it in. Look, you're not going to be able to translate it. You're not going to be able to understand it without long analysis. So what do? You just repeat that signal back. That shows to the source there that you're there, that you're intelligent as well, which is very interesting. You think of when you go to the zoo there and you're trying to mimic the monkeys or the parrots in the enclosure there. You go up to the animals, don't you? Try and copy what they're doing unconsciously there to try and get them to go, look, we're connecting. I'm doing the same thing as you. It's the same principle there. And maybe what we're experiencing there in the world of radio. Indigo, you do make me laugh there. It's Collins. And Trevor there, doing a roast dinner there, starting with the corn and the cob. I mean, that's the place to start. And this is so like a signal one there, and sending the signals, and then boom, the world gets an EMP strike. So I checked out the trailer for that one last night, and I'm liking the look of it there, so I'm going to have to check it out when it's easily available for that one. Another film that is along these sorts of lines, but it brings up an interesting point, because what we're doing tonight, guys, is called radio SETI. So we're using radio to search for extraterrestrial intelligence. SETI there. Now, obviously, you can change the medium from radio to, laser light, quantum properties, all these other jazz, gravitational wave communication. But you can also not just listen, as we're doing tonight, you can message extraterrestrial intelligence. We could be sending signals out there, METI. And we said we've done this once as a species. We sent a signal saying, hey, we're Earthlings, we're a third planet from our star, we're carbon-based life form, this is what our DNA looks like. And we sent it out there once. A lot of people don't think that it's necessarily wise. Exactly. We do not know who is out there and how dangerous they may be. In fact, Professor Stephen Hawking was mentioned that probably best, guys, to not do that, because you just don't know who is out there. It could be dangerous, which is an incredibly telling statement. For a scientist to actually give an opinion on a subject like this means that his belief was it is highly plausible that not only is intelligent life out there, but it might have the ability to traverse these distances and then cause us damage. Like, insane. Like, for a normal scientific point of view, if they don't believe in aliens, or if they don't think that, our life's out there but it's not going to be intelligent, or it can't traverse it, they would say, send all the messages you want. It's very, very unlikely to cause us a problem. But no, old Stephen Hawking there thought probably best to play on the safe side, lads, which tells you a lot about what he thought about life out there in the universe. There. And what's the healing frequency? Oh, good question. 528 is it there? That's even lower than this one. And Liberty, I caught a bit of your stream earlier. Hello, good to see you. I caught a bit of your stream earlier. I don't chat because I'm a lurker, but I did catch it a bit earlier. I thought it was quite cool. You were talking about losing a charger on one of your previous streams, and I was listening, and I was like, this is right up my street. This is somebody talking about the ups and downs and the joys of how to stream. I was like, this is a stream for me. I can relate to these sorts of things. The panic of worrying you're losing something when you're on a location. There. Where are we? Let's have a look. You watch Trainwreck, Storm Area 52. Oh, somebody mentioned about that one last night as well. I'll have to check it out. I remember at the time, but I haven't checked out the film there. 432 was the standard before the Nazis changed it to 44.1. I didn't know that. It's great that we are all here. Vibes flowing. Colin, that's my favourite part about this. Initially starting the stream, I didn't know if anybody would be interested in doing any of this stuff, but I thought, wouldn't it be nice if in this modern age, a couple of people to keep us company as we're doing this through the night or doing our sky watches. But we have found hundreds of thousands of you guys over the last year now, because I think it's sometime around now is our anniversary. We'll have to put in once the streaming computer's done, we'll do a proper birthday stream, which will be exactly this, but me in a party hat. Yeah, I thought it would be good. But we've met so many of you guys doing it, and we come for the aliens, we come for the evidence, which happens and is fun. But it is hanging out, hearing with all you guys, getting to know you all there, hearing about your ups and your downs as well. It's definitely been. I didn't expect, but I love it. Some guy just skated across America, and I bet he saw something. God, being the vastness of it, they're being alone out there at night. Are you definitely? It depends if he's looking up at a very good point there, Colin. Let's hope he's looking up there. And Raf, there, you're going to drop there. Your eyes are dropping. No worries, Raf. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad we got the Patreon sorted for you there. Just as bad as the humans that rule the planet now. What was that for? Or are they vampires? You never know in this day and age there. You won't be home till 1 a.m. Jesus, that is a long old run there. I think it's going to be the same for us in the next location. We're getting dark at these sorts of times. Party hat and the aliens are all here. Love it. I mean, we had a Santa hat at Christmas. We pull out all of the stops, and Alan had a Halloween costume as well. I mean, we know no bounds to our creativity here. I'm going to bounce back over to the TikTok now. Let's see what we've got to in your chat there. TikTok as well. Ram Raiders, thank you for the gifts there. Appreciate that, guys. Gifts, subs, members, Patreons, all that jazz does go back into the stream. They're helping us improve on what we are doing. There as well. In particular, at the minute, we are saving up to get to go on the road. We are hoping to go to Rendlesham Forest, do a live Skywatch from a location there as well. In fact, look, I've got a Signal Hunter t-shirt now, so we're doing our merch. If you do want one of those, link in bio, and again, it helps us get closer down the road. Where do we get to in the TikTok chat? Just saw a chrome-coloured sphere high in the sky, zigzag near a passenger jet 15 years ago now. I was at a video you come across. Again, 15 years ago, before the old AI stuff, so very, very interesting there. And you're at West Sussex there, and I've heard low frequencies so much, I've run outside to see what it was. I mean, could it be just a landscape, maybe, how it's channeling the air? Or is there something a bit stranger going on? I love all of those. It reminds me of being a kid and going through those mystery books and just thinking of how amazingly interesting the world, our reality, it can be. Oh, I missed those ones previously. Recently, no, I did that one. Why has this readjusted the order now that I'm seeing some of it? The notes have regrown and are facing the sun now. Very interesting that. How you doing, Carl? Good to see you there. Have you been out partying? When I look up to the blue sky, I see thousands of floating bubbles. Obviously, it's my eyes. Obviously, in my eyes too. But it's interesting. Very pretty. How you doing, Matt? As well there. Good evening. Have you picked anything up, Museum? Not yet. Only some very good personal experiences people have been sharing in the chat there. Some very good ones tonight. Maybe it's auto-decoding there, getting ready to infiltrate all of our data feed. But this is a part of it, maybe. It could well be going on. Would we even comprehend? Would we see the warning signs there? I think this is it. I'm totally open to, alien civilizations being friendly. I do think it probably would be a mix there, but I'm open to them being friendly. And maybe there is that filter. I think you mentioned it yesterday, Kate, there, that maybe there is an argument to be made that if they are to travel to us, that, maybe they have to have their shit together to be able to handle that technology. So maybe any aliens do reach us here are by default going to be safe. It's possible. I don't know if it is a bit possible. But how would we know? How would we know? Because if they are that far advanced, we would not see the manipulation coming either which way. And it reminds me actually of there was an episode of Stargate. It was the SG-1 series there, but the gist of it was, the alien stuff and the Stargates were made public in this. It's an alternate reality. Maybe they've gone into the future. Yeah, I think it was the future actually. They've gone into the future, and in this future, the Stargates were publicly known. The aliens were known about as well, and there was this other race that was humanoid that had come to Earth, and we were friends with them, we were doing trade, and it turned out they were ever so slightly lowering our fertility rates as the storyline this goes, to then take over the world without having to shed any blood. And that was the crux of the episode there. It goes like, how would we really know there? How you doing, TikTok as well? And Phil there, Art Bold, I love you there. Bald Art there. How you doing, Phil? Where are you joining us from tonight? And you just require excuses to buy hats. Kate, I resent you saying I have a problem with hats. I resent the problem, and I don't think I've had actually calls to wear this one yet. But got my Narm hat here because I've seen shit. That isn't the whole collection, guys, either. I don't know why. This is because you guys started gifting those hat emojis, and there was every now and again like I'd have a cowboy hat on my head or something like that, and I had to try and mimic it in real life there. You went to see a friend singing, Carl. You have a good time? And I'd like to know how many realities there are. Can we even conceive of it? Like, is it like the way we divide these things up like that? Or is that part of our human understanding of reality that is possibly flawed? And I mean, we wouldn't see anything, would we? And it would be the people in the know. Well, this is true. Richie as well, thank you for the follow. Where are you joining us from tonight there? We'll see the woman exactly there. Oh, from Cambridge as well. Good to have you in. Have you ever had an experience there? I'd love to hear about that as well. But very good to have you in. Welcome aboard. And was good. I'm glad to hear that, Carl. The first hat looks like Kentos. It was Rod Hull with Emu, wasn't it? That was the other one. I know some puppets now. Alan isn't a puppet. Alan is real. So, and what's the best signal you picked up? So the signals that we picked up. Zero. We've never picked one up. They are incredibly rare, but species, the human species, we have as a species picked up some very anomalous signals in the past. So we can't personally claim to have anyone. It's a bit of a right place, right time, bit of luck at play. But the more we do it, the more our odds statistically do increase of a detection, but they are quite rare. Now, on those clear nights when the clouds aren't or the rain isn't rolled in, we do we do a UFO UAP skywatch. So a good camera pointing up to the night sky. We're based right in the heart of crop circle country here in Wiltshire and just down the road from Stonehenge. So we see lots of stuff visually on those streams, but these are much slower. But it just means that when it does happen, and when it eventually does happen, it's going to be like winning the lottery. We all get to be on the front page of the paper. Can you imagine it? Live streamers, hear aliens. They're incredibly rare, these radio signals, but yeah, they do happen, and they are increasing actually. We are getting more of these anomalous signals as our technology improves and gets more precise. So it's our time is just around the corner, guys, at any point there. But yeah, hopefully we'll get lucky there. But if we do get a signal, it'll only be on screen for between 30 to 90 seconds. If you think as the Earth is rotating, that dish is moving across the night sky, passing over all of those distant stars and their planets. So at these sorts of distances and the speed there, depending how far away it is, between 30 to 90 seconds is all that will be on screen. We won't get any hint beforehand. It just goes woo and down. Like that's what will happen there. But it's very distinctive. There are certain things that we can do to check and analyze that signal itself there to kind of help us tick the boxes. But what we really need, if we do get a signal, to confirm that it is 100% aliens, it's the thing that has stopped science, mainstream science, to fully confirm all of the anomalous signals they've had, because there's this huge chunk of strange, interesting looking signals that they can't confirm as aliens, but they also cannot confirm or even find out how there would have been an error or electronic interference there. But what they need is a second detection of that same signal from a second dish. So that confirms that it's not just an error at one, or there's something in front of that other dish, like maybe a passing plane or a satellite, that's causing it there. So if you think of a distant star there, dish A is getting that signal. They pick it up and then go, hello, dish B, can you point? And you're on the other side of the world, and they go like that. So if they can converge on the same point, the same star, and get the same signal, that confirms it there. Or as good as. So that is what they really need to do with it there. But they don't do it in real time. Sometimes it takes them 20 years to go check with the other dish in between getting these signals. It's insane. No wonder they haven't got the bloody confirmation yet. Especially as well that what was my brain's going to do there, is that they think that these signals are not going to be on the whole damn time because they're just so energy intensive. So it's going to be a bit of a timing issue. When are they sending it? But also that a species, the signal that we are most likely to get is going to be the goodbye message or the help us, the SOS message. That is going to be when they're most likely to put in Richie, thank you for the gifts, appreciate those. But most likely, we're most likely to put in all of those energies and have that transmitter switched on for the longest because they're desperate. So yeah, if you're waiting 20 years, no wonder, you know, it's like waiting 20 years to answer a 999 call. I think they're dead, you know, with it there. But thank you for the gifts there, Richie. All the gifts, the subs, the patrons, the members, all that jazz does go back into the stream there, help us improve what we do. And TikTok Rammers, they're seeing anything and everything within everything itself. Or, I mean, you're getting me thinking of fractals there, TikTok. I had an experience there, the 27th of November in 2024. There, a huge UFO came over my house at 5:30 p.m. there. That'll still be light as well there. And I'd love to join you on a UFO hunt. Oh, Richard, we are hoping to do that at some point. We've been trying to plan one for a long time. But we do go live. You've got to tell us more about this UFO experience. And this is my favorite thing, is hearing everybody's account. People come in from around the world and share their experiences that, you know, you wouldn't get to hear elsewhere. So if you do, guys, not only want to share them here, but also on our Discord, link in bio there. It's like a little chat forum-y thing. Got a personal experiences section. If you want to put the story in there as well, any images and videos you may have, you could welcome to do that. Then all of our community can share all of those things as well. I know they would appreciate seeing it there. Or you can just join and read through the cool ones. But yeah, we take the show on the road occasionally. So hopefully next week, if the weather holds, we're going to go back one of the old Iron Age hill forts here in just the outskirts of town. Said right in the heart of Crop Circle country. Long history of sightings up those hills. They may be the reason for the sightings themselves. So yeah, we take the show on the road for that. But we're at the minute saving up to do a location live from Rendlesham Forest there at some point soon, which I think would be pretty cool, from where that crash reportedly happened. We ultimately want to do a whole UK tour of all of the hotspots and things, but we are hopefully going to do like a more public meetup at some point. It's like everything in the bureaucracy in this country. There's lots of I's that need to be dotted, but we are trying to do something provisionally August. But it'd be good to like catch everyone together there. And Kate there, sorry, we can't replay the footage. There are too many bleeps to make sense of it. Are you talking about my footage there? They're blocking out my swearing. Live stream creates 15 brand new swear words after receiving alien. Oh, that was it. Yeah, from the news. Yeah. Well, that would be true. The Essex comes out in me. They say it's not big and it's not clever to swear, but it is probably 97% of my vocabulary, so we have to deal with it there. And I want to go on a UFO hunt there. No, it was nearly dark, so right on that cusp there. And not far from me, from Rendlesham. You're not actually that far at all, are you? No, that's in Cambridgeshire, just across, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I had one once actually. It was just about getting dark. So with this sighting of yours there, like, was it like a bright light, or could you see like the physical craft shape itself, the metal or the shape outline? Love to hear more on that one. And was there any sound to it as well? Absolutely brilliant there. It is big and it's clever, and it's also the only acceptable thing in certain situations. Yeah, when you think you're seeing aliens, then yeah, you're allowed to swear. Problem is, I think I'm seeing aliens a lot. Let me bounce back over quickly to the tubes. Where are we? Over here, there. That's cool. I'm glad you like the hats over there, tubers. Where are we? Where did it get to? Let's have a look. Where did we get to there? And cool. Thank you, Colin and Indigo there. There should be a link in bio. In fact, on the tubes, there is meant to be like the little bit of the button where it shows a little bit below the main box there, or in the bio where it should show you the items. But there should be a link in bio. But if you do want to help us get ourselves to Rendlesham Forest and buy the shirts and stuff like that, it's where it all goes back into. No down the pub for me. It should be shop.thethingufo.live, and that takes you straight to it there as well. But a little bit of merch around here. Sorry, I'm just excited because I love seeing the physical things, and I'm like, so I've got a nice little mug here, a beanie, got a beanie hat there. So I've got everything here. Our UFO sightings logbook as well. So it's a notebook, basically. You can log your UFO sightings in there. There's more interesting ones to come because I love creating new things there. But hopefully they're reasonably priced, hopefully, for you guys. I think they are. But yeah, it all goes back into the stream. But we've got tonight's Signal Hunter here. So it's the big dish night sky there. And hold on, I'll show you some of the others. We've got the general branded one, and you can see there's like an art of a nighttime scene in it there. You've got our Skywatcher one for the Skywatch stream. Again, night sky. Lots of green and dark colours there. And for you guys, look, there's a Team Allen one. Anyway, enough plugging the merch. I'm just excited to get the samples through. I'll be bored of it in a week. But thank you guys there. And Trevor as well. From what I've learned, we will see that they are real, but will be not allowed to know who they are. Now, Trevor, I think that's quite plausible there. I mean, it's unlikely that they are going to go, all right, come on, guys, you've won. All right, we're going to tell you everything. And boom, big book on the table. Now, they're going to release bit by bit and just go, is that enough? Does that take the pressure off? Will they shut up now? Whatever that motivation for them is to be doing it to there. So I think even if they confirm alien life, there's going to be so much that's going to be hidden, and so much of it that they might not know as well. And Colin there, Project Bluebeam is coming up sooner there, the Signal one. But look, Project Bluebeam, I think that was a specific one of its time, because it was quite a while ago. But do I think that the government, if we all did believe in UFOs, if we did believe in aliens there, if it was mainstream accepted, would they go and try and pull a false flag operation with ET? Then 100% I think they would use that one there. We always have to be cautious of it there. And who remembers the TV series? I caught like one episode. I think they did a remake in the early 2000s, but it gets referenced a lot. I think it's going to be very good there. And the illusion of delusion there. How far does the signal go? Now that is a very, very good question. So it's kind of actually the reverse. So what we're doing tonight is we're listening for the signals. So from our point of view, it's how loud is the signal coming versus how far away it is, because the best way to think of it is it's like shouting there, right? So if the aliens are over another planet, can they shout loud enough that when it travels this distance we can still hear it? If they're further away, they've got to shout louder for us to be able to hear it there. If there's something else that's noisy that's going on, noisy in radio there, they've got to shout louder than that so we can hear it. Otherwise it will just fall, but we'll only hear the noisy thing there as well. So it's kind of how strong is their signal, how much energy do they choose to put into it there, and that might be what they've got available, what they want to put into it there, but then obviously how far away they are relative to us. Now we do think that these sorts of signals would be relatively high power. That's like kind of the whole point. You put as much as you really can justify into doing it to then give it its best chance of being heard. So, you know, if you think about, you know, if you're trying to, if you're trapped on a desert island there and you're trying to get the attention of passing planes and boats, it's like, well, how big of a fire can we make to give ourselves the best chance of it being seen further and further away? So it's that sort of principle at play. It's a very good question there, the illusion. And Indigo, I think that and hope that they are friendly. Almost, it is sad to think that some friendly aliens may have crashed here or were visiting in their craft, and certain humans have treated them harshly. You know, it does make you, I totally get that. It's almost for me, it's kind of like when you see like somebody being mean to an animal, you know, I just go, oh, that doesn't sit right. Humans, we can tear each other apart, don't care about that. But the idea of that, it's sad. And probably Indigo, look, if they are here, they are visiting. Sad truth is, you know, that's probably happened. But I do think that if there are aliens that they've got their shit together enough to travel these vast distances to be visiting us, I think they would kind of view it in the same way that, you know, when somebody kind of gets eaten on safari, you know, they'd be like, we don't put morality on the lions and the tigers. We just go, oh, look, they're animals, you know, they don't know any better. I think they would view us the same way. They'd be like, look, be careful when you're down there. You know, the sharks will eat you, the humans will poke at you with sticks, you know. I think that would be how they would view it. And Signal 1, any good? It's on my list. I've only saw the trailer yesterday, and it's a great low-budget sci-fi movie. I'm looking forward to seeing it at some point. I'm hoping to see Disclosure Day on Saturday there. And Colin, I go cycling around here and found out it's the Bonnie Bridge Triangle of most of it there. Last cycle, I went up an area I'd never seen and popped out at a signpost that read alien landing spot. Really? Oh, Colin, you got to get a picture of that for us, because I'm trying to encourage our little town here to embrace the UFO heritage a bit more and little things like that. So if you send us a picture, I want to see that. That's real cool. But the Bonnie Bridge Triangle, you know, the Bonnie Bridge and the Falkirk Triangle, isn't it there? There's UFO hotspot in Scotland. That is on our tour list for the UK tour. We're going to put a t-shirt together for that, like a band tour shirt. But yeah, we are... that is very much on our list as one of our locations there. The best movie you watched this year. Excellent. That's good. Yeah. Oh, the rock thing. That was Project Hail Mary. That was that one. And, oh, yeah. Signal 1 and Project Hail Mary. I liked Project Hail Mary there. Back, what did you miss there, Amanda? Oh, nothing much, just some good chat. We had some very good accounts that people have been sharing with their personal experiences tonight. We've been a bit spoiled lately for these, so it's very good. And I can't believe we're talking about this subject, but you guys haven't watched Signal 1. It's still out of the cinema, isn't it? Or it's still paid for. That's why. We're all cheap here as well. And you'd Fife Colin as well, yeah. So it sure is the UFO triangle, very much so there. Have you seen anything? I can't remember if you've mentioned it or not. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the TikTok quickly, but do let us know, tubers. Where are we? There. New hat. It was a new hat. Okay. Why am I just seeing that one now? Actually, I've had that one years. The things I've seen at war. Let's have a look. Where did we get to? Oh, and also when you stub your toe. That is a justification there. And it was the size of a football pitch. Totally so bloody hell. That is substantial. I've often wondered if you're seeing something like that so unnatural in the night sky there, how would you feel? Would it like touch on some awe-inspiring terror in you? I think like just seeing that, seeing the mothership through the clouds there, just something of that scale would hit something deeply biological. And it's rectangle, only about 200, 300 foot in the air there, very slow moving. I mean, that is so far from anything that we have man-made wise. That's not, that's amazing as a sighting there. And TikTok Banda, how are you doing there? I've just been reading that Jupiter moon. Io sent Juno probe messages. Oh, what's that one? I've not heard of that one. I need to want more on that one there. You watched Disclosure Day yesterday, Richie. Is it very good? I'm hoping you're going to see it Saturday, so no spoilers. But what do you think? I'm going for it with the mind that if they're trying to, disclose without disclose, if they want us to take some information from this, what part of the story there? What is the details that they want us to know from that? Do you feel that it's just a good bit of art there? Oh, Spielberg's come up with a brilliant story again? Or do you think that they are trying to send us a message, especially with this timing, but without saying it? They do a video there, but it's not very good. This is the thing, isn't it, Rich? I'd love to see it still. Our Discord, the personal experiences, they would love to see that, the rest of our community there, if you do want to jump in on that and add it to there. Because, guys, if you have got those accounts, our personal experiences section of the Discord, the whole community can see them there. They don't just disappear after the stream. So we'd love to link in bio for that one. But the thing we're trying to capture this footage is the phenomena itself may prevent it. Maybe it does blur the images and things like that. But also, from my personal experience, when I've not been sitting here in mission control with all of the screens in front of me and it's all being recorded for me, the one sighting I had when I was setting up the camera one time, and it's just before it got dark, so I could still plug everything in, had the camera up there, looked up to the night sky, went, oh look, the ISS is flying over, this big, bright, fast-moving white object. Like, it was in a straight line, but it was so big and so bright and so fast. It's kind of like the ISS. And then I went, wait a minute, it's not dark out yet. I can't see any stars. I definitely won't be able to see a satellite being this light. And then as I was watching it, it kind of went under the clouds, or appeared to me. It looked like it went under the clouds. Well, that's not the International Space Station. That's too high for clouds, isn't it? So I tried to film the bloody thing, but I was watching it so intensely with my eyes there. I just wasn't keeping up with it on the thing. You saw it a bit, and then it'd move out, and the shakiness of the zoom. The worst footage that anybody's ever caught of a UFO. So this is I totally get why people never get, really good footage from it there. I'll catch you later, Pluto. Thank you as always for joining us there as well. And so Richie, I shouldn't have zoomed in. That's exactly what I did because of the zoom, and when I wasn't paying enough attention to keeping up with it, that's exactly the fatal mistake that I made. I very much relate to that one. Very frustrating, but I do get it. Right, back over to the tubes. Where did we get to with you guys? Oh, the fire stick stuff there. I used to be into all that sort of stuff when I was younger, but I don't even know now. I have to play by the rules. I'm not clever enough. And It is movie after movie about UFOs. I mean, at the minute, you know something's going on. People's interest is there. They're picking up with that in the media and the mainstream, aren't they? And they're feeding that hunger. We're in one of these interest periods now, guys. We're the cool kids that we're listening to the band before they got famous, guys. And Living Light, how are you doing? Good to see you. And what if different versions of Earth exist in parallel? And we decide through our consciousness and focus which version we want to live on. And as our frequency changes, we automatically switch. Living Light, I'm going to say yes to that. Like for me, and again, I don't know, when I say yes, I mean this really, really interests me, and I'm leaning this way currently. I do not know, I'm not a scientist, I'm not that clever, so I can't say for sure if something's like going on, but this is something I've been thinking about as well, because we've had, I think, various stabs at this with, multiverses and things like that. That feels very clunky for me, a multiverse, but, time is a dimension, space is a dimension, and they're intrinsically linked by the look of it, but we like to separate these things out. But, for example, we operate in 3 spatial dimensions, forwards and backwards, left and right, up and down. There are 3 spatial dimensions that we can operate in, and forward in time there. But what if the spatial dimensions and the temporal dimensions are mirrored? Why would there not be a left or right of time, or an up or down, let alone a back and forward, if we're going forward already? Maybe we don't mentally perceive it, but it doesn't mean that it's not there or not possible, just maybe that's just not what we're naturally equipped to do. But what would left and right in time be? We can imagine forward, obviously we do that, but we could also imagine, and we do it a lot through fiction, of what backwards would look like in time, won't we? But what does left or right look like in time? It's a parallel world, isn't it? It's pretty much where you are, but with an incremental change. Because what is going forward? Well, it's exactly what you are now, but one measure forward. So an ever so slight change. So wouldn't the further we go left or right in time also be this parallel world travel? It's literally these very weird thoughts, sleepy time thoughts that I sort of have like that. And you go, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if anybody's thought of that. So Living Light, I love that that's literally where my brain was going with that. So bang on. I think, anyway. 100% there, Colin there. And Indigo, I and my family have been followed by a red orb. So, Indigo, you're not the first here. Again, the orb sightings, they're not common, but, they're seen. But being followed by orbs, I've heard of it a handful of times from you guys in the community. A handful of times. And I do find it interesting. What's catching me out? Sorry, guys. I find it very, very interesting. Maybe they're just curious in us. Maybe they're monitoring there. Maybe there's some sort of threat possibility of it. Did it feel, when you were in your family there, interesting that you've all had that, because you think of the odds of it all, but did you feel a bit nervous by it? Did you get any intense sort of feeling, oh, I don't want this to be happening, or maybe, no, it's totally fine, this is interesting? How did it feel? Oh, and it felt alive. I don't really need to finish reading the rest of there. It felt alive. I love that, Indigo. And but it felt, it felt like it was intelligent and alive there. It was intelligently observing. You can pick up on this. This is the thing. Even if we can't scientifically explain the details around something, you have spent, as I have spent my life, interacting with other alive things. Everything from plants to animals to us, to Alan, everything there. We have been interacting with that, and that builds a model, an unconscious model there. And we know this because we can dream about things. So take away all of the other dreams that may be connected to bigger things, but our just normal sleepy time, having a dream, processing the day. We will have a dog in our dream, and our brain knows how to model how a dog roughly works. 4 legs, walks, woofs, tail wags. We can model these things. We have these intuitive gut understandings. We have it with gravity as well. So that's why we can see some of these lights in the night sky and go, that don't feel right. I can't tell you it's 4 degrees to the left of where it should be, but I know intuitively that that's wrong. But the same with life and how life operates. This feels organic. There's something about this that implies that it is evaluating its environment, considering those things that I might consider, or I might see something else consider. So I love that. But yeah, what was it? Did it feel possibly cautious, danger, or no, it's fine, or curiosity? I love that one. And Adam there coming in with a gift. Thank you for those guys. Gifts, subs, members, patrons, all that sort of stuff. All goes back into stream. Speaking of members and patrons, actually, we've had to pause our deep dive for the minute because we've got this computer issue, which we're hoping is going to be sorted tomorrow. It's either going to be fixed tomorrow and we're all going to be back to running, or it's going to be buggering me for the weekend. We have to limp back through on the laptop. But yeah, either which way, we'll be starting the deep dives again, but because of the computer issues, we couldn't tackle doing them. But yeah, we'll be back on doing those, and we've got some very interesting documents lined up that we're going to be reviewing for those members and Patreon deep dives and going through with you all, which I'm very excited to do. Hopefully we're going to have another document drop from the US as well to be doing there as well. So just a bit of an update, because we haven't done one in about it should have been, I think, this Friday was we were due for a deep dive, but we haven't been able to do it just yet there. And Brittany, there, yeah, my video from last night could have been better there. I need to get a tripod also. It's so hard, and listen, we think of our technology now that nighttime video is easy, but even with the latest smartphones, night video is hard. Like doing the Skywatch, having to get all the equipment, consider how much light gets left in versus the movement, it isn't easy. It is no wonder we get shit pictures at night there. Like, it's asking a lot. It is very hard. You know, just it's how the sensors and the light works. It's actually quite difficult there. Oh, Richie, what's the YouTube? So, good question there. So, guys, if you are on the TikTok, you are seeing a sliver of what is available. You're just seeing the middle section. But behind me, there's a live sky map where you're seeing all the stars and where the dish is pointed. There's also up there on the YouTube, there is all of the information about the stars that are in range, which is Antares at 550 light years and Dashuba at 400 light years. Anyway, you can see the information up there. Over here, we've got the wave, the signal being analysed over there. There we go. Up there that you can see, plus all sorts of other solar, wind speed, cosmic index, all that sort of solar flare index, all that jazz. But also you see, so you're seeing much more at the screen, less of my face. But we are at the Thing UFO over on the YouTubes there. So some people think it is a much better experience. So definitely worth checking it out. The pro move, and I've seen a few of you guys do this, is you have the YouTube projected onto the full-size wall, and then you're in the chat over on the TikTok there as well to go across screen. So that's the pro move, guys. And could more UFOs be in our skies? But they're using tech where they can't be seen. So TikTok banter, 100% possible. Like mimicking and drone, you know, or camouflage, you know, spoofing. We do it with radar. We try to, you know, part of the defense is make other enemy radar think there's 5 fighter jets than one, so they try and go for the invisible ones. Things like that. So it's definitely a plausible sort of thing. Could well be happening. In fact, there are potential pieces of evidence that do point that way. But also, like, we don't actually look a lot. Like, I take MH370 when that plane went missing there. That was a bit of a wake-up call for actually how little coverage traditional radar has, you know, of that. We do not know everything that goes in and out of our atmosphere. You know, coastal areas tend to have a good radar, but beyond that, there are lots of flanks. We just do not have a good coverage all the time. In fact, one of my favourite little things for this to explain this is that we had a Venera probe, so with the Venus probes from the Soviet Union, it launched, I think, in the 80s. It went wrong, went on a weird orbit, fucked off into space, didn't obviously go to Venus. They noticed this weird thing coming towards Earth last year, and they're like, oh, what's this? I wonder what this is. They figured out, went, oh shit, it's that Venus probe that the Russians lost back in the 80s. Oh, it's coming home, boys. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And yeah, they were monitoring it, watching it come back in, and it did. It re-entered. We have no idea where it fucking re-entered. You know, we don't have a good thing. So a lot of the times they don't necessarily need to hide. We're just not as clever as we think we are with all of these things. In fact, that Venera probe, I think it's quite romantic because those things were built like absolute tanks. They're not like your normal space probes that are, you know, they're a little bit as lightweight as possible. No, Venus is a hellhole. The pressures, it's more intense pressure-wise than the bottom of the ocean. Acid atmosphere, the temperatures as well are through the roof. It's a horrible, it's a literal hellhole. The probes that landed there, even though built like tanks, they lasted a couple of hours and then that was it. So these things are beasts, and now this thing was coming back in, and that ain't going to burn up in the atmosphere. That thing is going to, you know, it's designed to survive literal hell. So, you know, that thing was going to make it through, and that's partly why they were a bit worried they couldn't figure out where it was going to kind of land, because if that lands on a city, that ain't good news. But there's this idea as well that, you know, it could kick into gear. It could have still, probably a low chance, you know, batteries would be dead, but, you know, light from the solar panels often with zombie satellites do kick in after a very long period of time. So there was a possibility that that thing would hit our Earth's atmosphere, and then all of its sensors would wake up and go, oh, we're here, lads. It took us a bit longer, but we're here. We're on Venus, and start to deploy its parachutes and go through the landing process that we had planned for originally. It was a very romantic image to think that that may have happened. Now, the Venusian atmosphere is much thicker than Earth, so its parachutes wouldn't have worked. It still would have plummeted in at quite some speed there. But, I mean, it probably would have survived impact. They're built like absolute tanks, they were, to survive the Venusian surface there. It's a very good question there, TikTok, as well there. No worries, Rich, as well. I hope to see you over there. Where I was at. You got you there, Kate. And what is the software, Britty? Good question. So the top part that you're seeing, let me get my cursor actually on that one. This is SDR++. It's an open source top bit, software, radio software, basically. You've got to plug in your own radio, your own dish, your own equipment into it, which we've got there. And this is the main part. Now, this bit you're seeing here, and there's actually a lot more that, again, you're just seeing that sliver over on the TikTok, the YouTube search, the full thing. We're actually building this software here. And it's all about analysing specifically these frequencies, looking out for potentially anomalous radio signals. There, we might make it available. What we are doing, though, very, very soon, and hopefully this weekend, this is going to be live 24/7, that you can just log into our website anytime you want and just do some searching yourself and log it. So you never know, you might see a signal, can log it there, take the credit for it. And Brittany there, last night I was in bed and got up to look at the stars, and I don't know why, and I never do that there, and ended up getting videos of orbs acting strange, and once they accept me on the disc, I'll have a look there, Brittany. Let me go into that. Some people it lets in, other people it doesn't. It makes me approve them. Might think you're dodgy. Let me do that one. Well, I've just approved someone, so that should be done. But yeah, like maybe it's this. We've got a sense that we don't fully know about. There is a statistical anomaly here. Like, you know, like when you turn around, you make eye contact with someone, you've realised that something was telling you somebody's looking at you, and you unconsciously turn around. That has been studied. It is statistically important, significant there. There is something strange going on. We just don't know what it is, what triggers it. So maybe it's something to do with stuff like that. Oh, night, Adam, as well. Thank you for joining us. Catch you later. M to the C. How are you doing there? Oh, excellent, Richie. I look forward to seeing you over there. What's your opinions on the USOs and the underwater bases? So the USOs makes sense. You know, lots of accounts sound very, very interesting. In fact, that recent file drop showed what appeared to be these objects going from the air to the water. Never seen that before. Absolutely fascinating. I wasn't a fan of the underwater UFO manufacturing bases until we did our deep dive and we read through what that whistleblower claimed. I really wasn't expecting to believe that, but it came up very, very plausible. At the end of that, I was like, you know what? I could see this. It actually answers a lot of questions there. Just post it. Thank you, Brittany. I'll check it out after the stream, hopefully, there as well. Oh, you did it there, Kate. Thank you, Kate, for already jumping in on that one. And with galaxies that are close together, I wonder if the life forms and work together would be fascinating. Can you imagine? I mean, we're trying to think of how weird life would be, different worlds and different environments to grow up in, let alone totally different galaxies. Like, just cannot comprehend these distances as well. Right, I'm going to bounce back over to the tubes quickly now, and then we probably will have to come off soon. But let me just see where we are. Down here, and I can't stop thinking of my orange orb. Crazy shit goes on. I can't stop thinking of my orange orb, but the sound of it, mate, when it disappeared into the corner of my room, that popping sound you said, that is fascinating, and like it's giving you an indicator. That sound tells you that it is interacting with the environment in some way, which we can give you some clues. Like, it's tantalising. I think there's some to it there. And Paul Jones there, how you doing there? Hi, just put this on and been to see Disclosure out of this world. Must see it. They're sorry I'm late. I would have missed that. Paul, always good to see it. Never have to worry about being late. We just love to see you guys when's convenient of yourselves. Hopefully going to see that Disclosure movie on Saturday. That is the plan. So I'm very excited for it. How did you feel? You thought it was awesome. Do you think it's going to be, are they telling us something without telling us something, or is it just a good fictional film? What do you think there? NASA are a bunch of clowns. I feel that, they've just dropped the ball massively. Like, look, NASA has done over history. I think we have to respect that. You know, it's been so important, so fundamental, but they've dropped the ball. They're just a bureaucratic organisation that's more interested in reports and bullshit than actually doing the job anymore, let alone all the potential bias and cover-up there. Never a straight answer. Exactly there, Scooby. And hello. And I felt I was being monitored, kind of contacted telepathically, but no words there. And I was curious, and I wondered, in wonder at being followed there. Not scared. So that is very interesting that it didn't trigger those responses. And it makes sense, but that curiosity, so far advanced, is going to still be interested in monitoring us. Movie was a bit slow, but very revealing. In the end, full disclosure, everyone's stream these days, as we just want to know. We are not alone. That I'm looking forward to even more now. There. It's such convenient timing, isn't it, for a movie that's literally called Disclosure. There. Was that Brit there? I find it fascinating how long humans have existed. Yeah. For how long we've gone into the past in 100 years. Honestly, that is insane, isn't it? That is. And this is what I don't get with that, is that when you look at it in the historical record, the information that we do have, what happens is, if it's warm enough, we don't die as much, we can grow more food and we can do other things, right? If the environment is habitable, we like to pat ourselves on the back and go, look how smart we are, look how far our culture, our civilization has gone. Really, it's just, is it stable weather-wise? If so, you're going to do it, you know? It's like letting a mouse infestation go in, right? If you keep it warm, you don't poison the buggers, you're going to be overrun. It's just going to happen. But I think human advancement is the same sort of thing. So we've had so many of these peaks and troughs throughout the years. There's been so much other time for life to develop. What, if the mainstream argument is correct, what was so fundamentally special about, 10,000 years ago, whatever it is, we've got the latest bits of civilization and culture that changed us from hunter-gatherers to this there? I don't buy it. I don't. I really think that, this is where the mainstream starts to fall apart absolutely massively. I would not be surprised that there have been many advanced civilizations here, human and maybe even otherwise, on our Earth. To see that recent kick there, I mean, I can imagine it's more of an exponential curve, linear development, but the fact that it took so long to even start off there, I don't buy that bit. There's been plenty of habitable periods on this Earth, even whilst anatomically modern humans have been around as well. So there's no reason we could have done this before there. You keep smacking yourself in the face with your phone there. It's time to go to sleep there, Kate. I think you're right as well on ours. It's gone midnight, so I'm going to I've got a lot of messages to catch up on tonight there. And because someone buy me a ticket, please, there, so I can go and see it. On Indigo, I feel you there. Like, it's literally, somebody had to buy me a ticket because this stream computer's buggered me this month. So I didn't think I was going to go see it. But luckily, somebody pitied me and taking me to the cinema on Saturday. So hopefully, the buying popcorn. Where are we there? So, yeah, I'm going to come off now as well, guys. But thank you ever so much for joining us. Remember to make sure you're following and subscribe to join us, hopefully, tomorrow night. Good chance it could be a Skywatch. Saturday's looking very good for a Skywatch there as well. But, yeah, we are on every night, so make sure you're following and subscribe so you get those notifications when we go live there as well. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sharing your stories, your knowledge there, keeping us company as we're doing the hunt there. Thank you again for your likes and your shares, helping us reach and build our little family up here as well. But gifters, subbers, members, merch buyers, all that jazz there. Again, extra love for helping us improve what we're doing here, upgrading, keeping on top of things there, and hopefully on the road as well. But thank you again, guys. Do appreciate you all. We will be on as planned tomorrow night there. And yeah, we'll catch you all then. Hopefully it's a Skywatch. But thank you very, very much. And night there. And Galactic, same with us here. Honestly, I feel lost when I'm not hanging out with all of you guys there as well. Bye-bye, guys.